Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Go Champions League. It's time for our second series of the night. It will also, of course, be a best of three featuring Darkpassage from Turkey and GGWP. Winner will qualify for the main event in a month's time to fight for that $5,000 prize pool.
Yeah, DP against GGWP. This could be a great game. You just can't write this sort of stuff, Mitch. You just can't make it up.
I could. I'd probably just have to be drunk, but I could do it. I could write that. Wait, look at that. I started off with such a nice intro, and you've taken the minecart, you've flipped it up, the coal's gone everywhere, and Minecraft players around the world are losing their mind.
I can't help that I'm just a bit woxic.
Woxic is a great name, Warren. I think it's. I wonder if it's like Voxic though. You know, like they pronounce it as a V.
I don't know. If it was a CIS team, I'd say yes, but
Woxic.
Not. But Asmo's here, and everyone loves Asmo.
Yeah. Asmo. Obviously, so Darkpassage, this is a very recent name change for these guys, or it's a very recent org change. DP are a very well-known organization in Turkey. Not really deep into League of Legends, as far as I understood, but we do know Asmo. Obviously, Space Soldiers is also a Turkish team who maybe have a little bit more fame or renown. I see on the back of Zentares. But anyway, into the pistol. Let's not get too behind the play here, as it is Darkpassage starting on the CT side, and Brads for GGWP here in this pistol.
Big Brads. Mycox. Great name.
Are you good? Are you good?
Okay, can you just read the tag and his name, please, Mitch?
Who?
Just
Darkpassage make. Oh, okay. Okay, all right. So it's obviously Calix, Sasuke, Woxic, Maycox, and Asmo. Sasuke starts off well. Basso falls down. He's a stand-in for GGWP tonight. You can see I've done my homework. And KPZ also falls down. So good start here for the CTs. Calix gets it done. Gets two as well as they try and push on towards that B platform. I love Cobblestone. Get it the second time tonight. Or if you're Woxic, it should be Wobblestone. We'll have to see, though, if Darkpassage can get through without falling over.
I'm never going to watch this guy play. What do I call him? I can't call a player Mycox. I can't do it.
Just say it. Let's say it is May, like M-A-I, like Maycox. You know, this is why we have cough buttons, so you can mute yourself when you're laughing, or even
there's no stopping it. There's no stopping it. All right, I'm gonna take this seriously though. I'm gonna just work through this.
May Cox be with you.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's a slow round. They're building up towards B, and I am going to just try my best. Mitch, save me.
Lauren, use your cough button. It's okay. Use your cough button. We're fine. Anyway, the point is, Pistol started off fairly well. We saw a GGWP attempt to try to do something on that B platform, but it didn't really work out. So now Darkpassage get to buy in with a couple of items here. Actually, auto shotgun for Woxic here. And Sasuke has a UMP. So it will look like, at least for now, it's being a bit of a B hit. The bomb actually being held, it's got to have to be B now. They're committed to this one. Sasuke gets on towards MKG. Trade comes in for Brads. And Calix tries to do what he can there from up on that little platform. Their kills coming in thick and fast, but it is just Basso in a 1v3.
Yep, Basso gets sent back, packing by my... I'm trying so hard right now, guys. You have no idea. But 2 rounds to start with. Mitch, stop crying next to me. You're not making this easier.
I don't know what the problem is, Lauren. I'm not laughing at all. Okay, so GGWP try to go for a bit of a B push here. I'm just going to bring it back like Paul Cowan casting a show match. That's how I'm going to do it. Woxic gets himself 4. And Lauren can't even observe right now, but we did see big old Basso go down, and Breads now has to try and deal with Maycox. And it's no good. You know, something that a funny name, because what we've done... No, I'll tell you what we've done here. We've made something funny out of something that's not really funny, and that's good for entertainment value, but it's also now, it just puts us on a snowball south. I do apologise as well, and maybe even someone can inform us how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Please. Please.
I don't know if that really, I don't know how much easier that makes us, but it's clear that we're 4 years old and we're,
I'm a massive child when it comes to this.
We're not suitable for this line of work, but here we are. Somehow, a glitch in the system has put us here at this casting desk. So, let's take a breather. There is actually 2 players sitting back on A long here, Refresh and Brads. So a very slow start to the round here by GGWP. They were able to buy into an AWP. But interesting that they're using 2 players on A long instead of just Brads with the AWP. But we'll see how this works out. Maycock's again going to be smoking on towards B platform. Just to buy himself some time. Sasuke as well. We saw what the auto shotgun did last round in the hands of Woxic. I think that's been swapped around now. But still, can be very, very deadly from this position. 4 kills, I think it was. That being said, up against unarmored opponents all rushing in. So Brad's, his patience on A long actually pays off. Woxic falls down. And they can actually work on towards A long here to some degree. It's forced Asmo in, at least out from Connector. And he did quickly check in towards underpass as well. So he knows that if there's players coming, it will be from here. Does take a quick peek. Cleverly just backs off, flash in. And Sasuke is on the A side as well. He's got a bit of backup here.
Asmo, though, this is going to be pretty hard, unless he actually does manage to get the pop flash off. And no, the timing's just not on his side, sadly. But Sasuke. It's not Sasuke,
yeah, you say it the Japanese way. It's obviously like, it's a Naruto character, Lauren.
Yeah, but it's not spelled that way, is it?
Yeah, that's how it's spelled in Japanese. Sasuke.
With the U?
Sasuke. Yeah, you just don't pronounce it.
Huh. Okay, it's Sasuke. Sasuke. All right.
Because SUK is, but it's more like scare in Japanese.
Okay. Well, it's save time. No matter what his name may be, they are going to try and save these. That 4-5 player standing for GGWP will equate to a round win and a good bit of money to follow up from them.
You know who else is standing still?
Don't know.
Mycox is standing tall. And that's good. But he's actually probably just looking to save here or try and hunt down someone who would be hunting him. So Calyx falls, Refresh picks him up. Calyx was over towards the B site, actually more towards the connector if I'm honest. And Maycox just wants to hold on to this rifle at this stage. So first round comes up for GGWP there. Bear in mind as well that Darkpassage had held on to some of the SMGs from earlier rounds. You saw Asmo having some difficulties there, challenging out players on A-long with proper guns, or I guess at least the AKs. So now we will see Darkpassage buy up sensibly or properly, except Sasuke, who wants a UMP. It might just be a money issue for him at this stage. Yeah. So, GGWP solidified, looking decent at this stage to take a few rounds back. Woxic has an AWP, surprisingly. To see what he wants to do with that one. He's actually just on A-long at the moment here as well. Not too aggressive, maybe. Could be sat behind danger. I'm sure Henry G is probably rolling in his sleep right now if he knows that he's so far forward. But that's how Darkpassage is going to play it here.
So, to be fair, GGWP's defaults have been pretty patient. They've been running that clock to at least about a minute, maybe around 50, and then getting the picks. This time it doesn't work out. Woxic does find Brad, so that's the advantage now dissipated. You can see they could actually rotate that player off of A. They could have pulled back Asmo if they want to, but going to leave him here. Bear in mind, Refresh is actually still down by middle, so that's a fairly decent read. And actually a great shot from Asmo, going to really secure that one in the end, leaving the 3 players left for the T side. They're going to try and make a quick hit out of this, but Calyx is going to be waiting very, very patiently down below, and he actually does find one. MKG, the first to fall, and the other 2 players just going to be walking into the crossfire.
And you can see now Calyx making good use of that wall being as high as it is, because no one from GGWP, they knew he was there. But you can't just peek over the top of the wall and try and shoot him in the head. That's going to expose you far too much. And so that is another round for Darkpassage here as well. So they get to buy up with seemingly reasonable guns. Sasuke's still going to be on that UMP here, but utility galore for these guys. So they're going to stall GGWP out as much as they can, who themselves, GGWP, can't really afford to be kept at arm's length. They've got 2 Tech 9s, so they really need to get onto this site as quickly as they can. Little utility now. Now it's starting to come out, of course, towards the B platform, and you can see that GGWP can't be stopped by that, but still, bomb getting loose, and Mycox is going to be laying it down right now. Ain't no other way to do it, I guess. Sasuke as well, with the UMP, gets himself 2.
You've got to be able to credit Mycox for being able to handle that. A lot of players coming his way, but he does manage to just stay standing, pick up 3, and lock that round down. 5-1 now. Darkpassage do take a bit of a resounding lead. And at the forefront, it is Mycox.
It's getting late, isn't it?
Is it gone like past the watershed now? Can we start discussing Mycox openly, or do we still need to be quite subtle about it like we have been so far?
I'm still in the closet about Mycox at the moment. So
everyone knows.
4 players for GGWP, at least angling towards A at this stage. Brads will be the man for B, but a slow push for him. Woxic now can look straight down middle. Asmo and Woxic have just sort of sat up on that side as well. They're quite adamant here in actually keeping 2 players in attendance. That leaves Sasuke, of course, in connector at this point. So Sasuke still has his UMP, of course. No reason upgrading it for this particular round, but maybe we'll consider it for the next, when GGWP can just buy in a few more of those weapons. But Darkpassage looking good so far. Let's see what Asmo can do. There doesn't get the spray down. KPZ comes around the corner with the Deagle, picks him up, and now Sasuke forced to rotate very quickly. Fortunately, he's done it fast enough. He gets himself to Basso in midair. He's going to get picked up. And easy as you like there. Sasuke makes use of that UMP, makes a bit of extra cash as well. Over 10k for him.
The thing is that normally you see players like Flusher using it just by drop, right? Where actually it's not bad. You're perfectly fine in that sort of position. You build up a massive bank. However, he's doing really well with this, even on retakes, which is ridiculous. Just really nice positioning. It's got his money, incredibly robust, and we're just seeing really nice play from Darkpassage. It looks like they are far more well set into this so far. Those kind of slow, meticulous plays aren't working out anymore for the T-side GGWP. But Asmo's had, I think he caught a glimpse at least one crossing in towards middle. So you can see GOCL just readying himself over by Long, and Asmo going to keep eyes here towards the middle spot. See if anyone else pushes up, but you do have a bit of a lurk from Brads. He's going to try and keep as many people present on the B site as possible, while everyone else is going to start building up. But that's going to be tough. Asmo, experienced player, shouldn't get overwhelmed, but again, GOCL can't overextend here either. He's got players coming through left, right, and he does actually just about make it away. Good stuff from him, not overstaying his welcome. And he's going to get support soon, but he just can't miss shots like that. He does get punished in the end, and now the advantage is with the T-side.
Yeah, you absolutely have to hit those. So now Asmo's forced back towards the side. He needs to wait a couple seconds for Calyx to come and reinforce, and he has to deal with Refresh, I think, to try and get there in the first place. Asmo going to be able to get the spray down. Gets one. MKG responds, though, but Calyx is at least there. He's close enough. He'll hear the bomb being planted. Mycox there getting very aggressive, pushing straight through the smoke, and Refresh able to turn around and pick him up. So now, a 1v2. But the health in the hands of Calyx.
And he's got a kit. This is very, very possible here, but he doesn't get the first shot cleanly in the end. And Brad's watching the push through will get the job done. So GGWP just hammer it through on A, basically. Overwhelmed Asmo, who just kind of made a little bit of a meal of that, if I'm honest. Again, the player on Long as well. Didn't have the best of times either. I think that was GOCL. You know, played it well on the first, but then kind of struggled to follow it up better than that. So now 6-2, GGWP back in a better position. They can keep Darkpassage's money pretty low at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually able to do so. But already, Asmo pushing up to a bit of a different position. They have been trying to take that mid control, so maybe trying to find a hindrance to that.
Smoke's already towards that B platform, and Refresh is looking through one himself here. No chance for him to make his way in towards mid, and GOCL still does have the AWP. It's actually Asmo's duty, though, as it was last round, to look straight down in the middle. Mycox gets a boost. I don't know if that was been prescribed by a doctor or if it's just happened on its own, but that's good. And Asmo now as well, again. More smoke for him, this time thrown by the T, so a slower push for GGWP to make the way across.
And patience certainly being GGWP's virtue here. Running that clock pretty low, and it has generally surmounted in these hits towards A. I wonder if we're going to see much more of a performance out of GOCL and Asmo. They haven't been doing as much as possible at this point. They may be trading 1-for-1, but you know these players can do far more. But you can see up dark they go, going to work their way towards A long. You can see the different position here. GOCL going to depend on Asmo to keep this safe as possible. The flash comes out, good, completely blind spray from Asmo. And now you can see GOCL responding as well. Going to fall back himself, watch the push through from Wooden, but a nice little shoulder peek, bit of the fake comes out, but still, it's down to a 3v4.
Yeah, it's at the latest stage. You see that the first couple kills come in for Darkpassage, but then as GGWP start to approach, GOCL through, what? He's flashed. Okay, fair enough. Gets KPZ, and now Asmo able to come in through Long there as well. Mycox does shut it down, as he has for the last few rounds here. Good game from him, 10-2. You can see on the scoreboard here. GOCL and Asmo are obviously those A players, so only getting action every now and then. Although Mycox gets a lot of action, as you can see, 10-2.
Oh, guys and girls, help me. Please, just send help. Ugh. Okay, 7-2 I said.
Am I wrong? He's 10-2.
I don't know about Mycox. I really haven't researched Mycox as much as you have in the form of...
That's a lie, Lauren. I know you're a prep heavy caster, mate. I know you've done your homework.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. But it does look like a bit of a drop pressure here. Not much more to work with other than the form of pistols and a grenade. Brad's is the only one who's armor, so he's going to basically bait out his teammates and just play off the back of it, let them go first, unleash the minions. Let's see how Mycox handles it, though. Not very well. Gets found out in the end. Doesn't have the impact that he's had before, and now the pins on the site comes into play. Yeah,
Basso gets cut down there as well. Tried to make something happen with the UMP. So this advantage that GGWP had earlier on is what been squandered, essentially. Calyx comes out with a nice finish to the Dome of Breads. Brad's.
Bread.
I don't know
You're
why.
dreaming of carbs.
I don't know. He probably felt like a bit of a loaf in that situation. There wasn't much chance for
ba-dum.
him, but I must have been thinking Breads. Yeah, that's it. It's this carb depletion I'm having.
That's it.
Anyway.
Yeah, but sadly Mycox coming up short that round didn't really help out in that matter. So even though they're able to buy back up, you can see the T side still has enough to maybe make a challenge in this one, but it's still far from ideal. You've got Brad's again with the Deagle. I don't know if he's just doing that I'm a Deagle only player. He's tilted off the face of the earth already. You've got a UMP holding the long range on A, solid, and everyone else is playing slowly. So hopefully it surmounts back to kind of like accumulates itself back towards B, but the further someone like Woxic gets, the more information they get. The closer they get to it, to rotating someone like Asmo straight over towards B. But it looks as though maybe that hit's going to be coming in soon.
Yeah. Woxic will be looking forward, and Asmo probably needs to go soon. The bomb hasn't been picked up by GGWP yet as well, so it's almost like they were looking to get a pick, I guess, down in towards his drop room, or at least try and use some utility to clear it, which is probably what this is going to be. Sasuke now does see that molly go over. He has to back right up towards the corner, and he's spotted. He gets one, though. That's not too bad at all. Refresh can respond. It's the trade out for the T's, and they're down to 3. And now Calix as well hears all of this. And he knows someone on the other side of the wall is making way for it. It's Brad's great shot towards Mycox there, opening things up quite nicely. Gets a stranglehold on that one, especially Refresh as well. Picks up Calix. Now only 2 left for Darkpassage. Asmo, it was a little bit later on the rotate than I thought he would be, and of course Woxic went wide as it was.
Yeah, this retake's not looking so possible here. Already good position. Oh, he gets the tag as well. That's just unfortunate. Straight up, bad luck. Lovely little follow-up with a nade. But this is just looking so far out of reach. Flash, smoke, molly, sure, it's good, but you want to keep that up as well. And I think he knows that this one's not something he can really commit for at this point.
His gun rounds for GGWP, they need more of them at this stage. This would be a good start, of course. I think Woxic may even just save that AWP. He's only got about 4K. No one will need to expend that at this point, especially after GGWP do get it done. But you have to say, Darkpassage, in his gun rounds, or even in general, they hold sites pretty comfortably there. A couple of things went wrong for them. You saw even Asmo not even getting a chance to get involved on that rotate. But we'll see now. Orp maintained. Woxic could have bought himself another one, but much better with armor and all this utility. And the rest of his team will probably just save around that. And we'll see what Woxic has used. Will it be that long A hold? No, straight towards that B site. Maybe put a pistol player up close on long A if they do want to have someone there. And that is exactly what Mycox is doing.
Yeah, it's always good to know what Mycox is up to. Already, though, that's the Orp gone. That's the big deficit that they're going to be missing now. Calix going to be picking it up, but has no armor to support it with. Sasuke could be doing something from drop, but already backs away from that. Knows he can't take up a straight up fight from this, but just going to be playing around the side of it. But there you go. Mycox gets caught out by Brad's. And now Sasuke going to try and respond, but so he's watching this, and there you go. That's about as well as you could expect it to go, and he knows someone will be boosting him, so goes back in for more, and they're going to ignore the AWP, basically go, all right, there may have been a chance, someone else was there to pick it up, let's head A.
And the odds of Calix holding on to this one, not great, especially now that he's been spotted out as well. So Basso, big, bad, bumbling Basso, we're able to alert the rest of his team as well, bring a couple more players across and eventually wrest this AWP out of Calix's cold, dead hands. We'll have to see if he has something to say about that one. Well, I don't know if it matters really at this point. Bomb ticking away. You don't survive these situations, generally speaking, unless you kill 4 people, and that's not about to happen. Basso, good round from him, gets himself 3 and the AWP to boot. Played well in through drop, even if Darkpassage did go for the counter boost and gift him a bit of a frag there. Yeah,
it's good to see the player who had the SMG as well doing most of the work as well. You know, it builds up his economy, and even getting the upgrade as well towards the op is just perfect. He gets the rifle off of Brad's, trades it out for him. Really, really nice stuff. But this is a bit of a stack. We got the 4-1 stack finally coming out. Surprised it took so long to go for, if I'm honest. But let's see if it pays off in the end. 2 players very quickly playing towards that platform. Mycox just going up high. Actually, no, excuse me. It's not him this time. He's going to be playing towards drop. So, switching things around this time. Who is out there? Oh, it's Sasuke. So, bit of a trade out. Not sure why. Maybe it's just because of the guns. Mycox maybe a little bit poorer than Sasuke, so they're just going to switch off the back of it. But look at GGWP. These guys love playing these very slow defaults, just all throughout the map, trying to find any form of aggression, getting a pick, and then just kind of pushing whatever advantage they make.
Mycox, yeah, ready to receive here as well if they push down. The Famis, obviously not the best at super long ranges, so he's hoping to make something happen with it here as well. Also keeps himself away from the more nasty utility uses, i.e. your incendiaries and your HEs, but he was smoked out. Just sitting in the doorway here as well, and GGWP, despite having put this utility down, only refresh dropping just now. They re-smoke it, so at least now got to be some pressure on towards connected there. mycox pushes through, gets picked up quite briefly. And now Sasuke has to watch his back here because there is drop room control now established for GGWP.
Yeah, mycox letting that happen basically means they don't have any info throughout the map. They don't know if there's more players by drop. They don't know if they're going for the B here. Now they know that's not the case. It's going to be coming down towards A. So Asmo needs to be on point here. He has some support in the form of GOCL bringing himself over here, but already the frags are coming in for the T side. They have the advantage, and there you go. Players towards the site, and the T side has so much of a control over this one already. Bomb is about to go down. And you just don't see this going the CT side's way.
No, much better from GGWP now in the last few rounds. And bear in mind, that was I'm almost certain that was a gun round there for Darkpassage. So they were systematically shut down. I think the only gun they didn't have that was sort of full bought in was the FAMAS. And it didn't really matter for mycox because he didn't even see his killer at that time. Walking in through smoke, not usually advisable. So Calix again finds himself on his own. He's going to be pushed here as well. Maybe we could have let KPZ go there as well. I guess he was just very, very sensitive about someone pushing around on towards him. Gives his position away. Basso, nice little shoulder peek there as well, keeping Calix honest and keeping him nice and dead.
This is a nice little comeback from GGWP, actually. Their patience has genuinely paid off. Look at their money. It's starting to become incredibly robust. They have up to 7k on one of their players, that being Basso, of course. The others perfectly well set. And on the other side of things, the flip side of the coin, Darkpassage. Looking a little worse for wear, you could argue this can be a T-sided map, but then again, I don't know these teams as well. I don't know if these teams, do really well on their T-sides. mycox seems to have a bit of a plan in mind. Smokes up and over, going deep there to allow Calix to go for the peek off the back.
And now Calix will be waiting here. Flash in. Plenty of utility here for GGWP. They haven't even started to dip into those smokes yet, so we can expect them to come out a little bit later. Obviously, still a minute 23 in the round, so enough time for GGWP to put their heads together and think about a way to push this B side, but they will be going there at this stage, and Calix just gives them a frag. Sometimes you can get a little bit antsy on that CT side when you're saving and hope to try and get something up close, but that is a long angle and one where the CZ is not exactly going to reign supreme, especially against an AK.
Yeah, and the bomb's pretty far away, though, for the T side, so that's going to take a little while to rotate. They can probably try and secure the site in the meantime, which is what KP looks like he's going for here. Bit of a quick flash comes out, and the timing could have been worse, but no, KPZ keeps hold of things. Sasuke gets found, and there you go. A nice, clean take towards the site. You can see the pressure from drop coming into play, and now GOCL is locked out.
Yeah, literally and figuratively here as well. To go any further for him, quite risky, of course. And of course, GGWP have players 2 up on that B platform as well. So for GOCL to even peek on that angle at all would be quite nasty for him. And at this point, if you're GGWP, you probably know that, okay, well, they don't have guns here. Don't really need to chase. Don't really want to risk losing an AK, trade it for a pistol player. But KPZ's an excellent round. He's gotten 4 of those kills, and they've all sort of been entries, except that maybe that first one that was gifted to him, but still, GOCL will eventually fall, refresh, gets it done. And yeah, 8-7 is entirely probable at this stage. Good money for GGWP. They can splash some cash around, and Darkpassage having to check the pockets for loose change. They'll come up with a buy here, but it won't be stellar.
Yeah, 4 rounds on the trot, though, coming in for GGWP.
Right.
That's pretty good for them. A decent purchase. Not perfect.
Not wasting money on helmets, obviously, up against AKs. No utility for Calix.
Yeah, he's going to be doing the AWP duty. So a bit of a stack towards B again, though. And look at the quick play coming out from the T side. Already Brad's with the AWP going straight in, not messing around. Can't get the follow-up. mycox says no. And already 3 players are standing for the T side.
That was a really intense open play there. KPZ, a bit unfortunate, I feel like. And Calix, nice work holding from their little, I guess, the tree area and getting that kill away. And mycox is low, but still is on standing. So right now, with MKG pushing around A long, hoping to find something, which he won't unless he goes much deeper. These 2 lads need to take drop room, and they need to do it comfortably. Now, mycox is the weakest link right now on Darkpassage in terms of health, so he will just keep this very, very passive angle. And this is going to require Asmo actually to watch in towards that drop room and on towards B platform simultaneously if he can.
Yeah, that's not easy. It's about intuition and timing and just how they feel the rounds playing out, because you don't obviously get much information as a CT-sided player on this map. It's one of the biggest problems. It's very tough to read where those guys are going, but at this point, you can see GOCL sitting right back on the side. He's basically saying, all right, you can get as far as you want, but I'm going to just try and stop the plant. Players lay into it, just hinder you time-wise. There's the spot. He's seen them, and I don't think they've seen him back, so there's the call to rotate. mycox is the closest to getting there, so hopefully he can get there in time and actually support GOCL a little bit here.
GOCL does have a Molotov. You saw him pull it out for a moment there as well. mycox purely has to be They can't really peek this. He just has the hope someone comes across the face of him. He needs to avoid that Molotov as well. And Calix goes down earlier on. He was the man with the AWP, the key player on that site. Now, GOCL, what can he do? Takes down MKG. It's just refresh left. It's a 2v1. Looking pretty good for Darkpassage to get themselves around back here. And they do. GOCL, after giving up the AWP to Calix, and now at least manages to salvage that round away for the Turkish side. So 9-6 at half here. And there shouldn't be too much of a delay, but so far it's been an interesting half, Lauren. GGWP very slow to start. But I think out of the last 8 rounds, they got 5, so I won't be complaining.
Yeah, they started to actually really stabilize towards the end of it. Surprisingly so, and GGWP didn't seem to have, Darkpassage didn't seem to have much of an answer at that point. But again, looking to see what Asmo can bring on this T side. I know he can be, I don't know if he's actually in-game leading at the moment, but he is such a, quite a tactician in that way. If you look at the way he plays and how he brings out strategies, it's quite interesting to see if he has something in mind here. But already Brad showing presence in danger. He might have got the full picture as to what Darkpassage are bringing to the forefront. So there's the smoke to allow them to cross by the door, and they're going to just try and push up. Keep that Glock range as ideal as possible, and already Calix going to find Brad's, but there's MKG finding one back, so it's all even, all square until right about then. Now back down to the 3v3 though. The bomb's in a tricky spot.
Early information in the pistol means a lot, and that's given GGWP the chance to rotate here early, but they still need to get the kills, and GOCL actually picks up, takes down MKG there. And that's a 2v2. Refresh, though, at long range with the USP doing work, and now GOCL maybe regretting his decision to go forward, but he finds Refresh, just turns to the left and takes him down. The bomb not planted yet, but it's in GOCL's hand, so he knows he's got a couple of moments here to put it down. He knows he'll be pushed, and he's too slow. KPZ picks him up, but it's still a plant for Darkpassage.
And that's what they were looking for there. Of course, a round win would have been far greater, but
Sure.
If you're going to get anything, if you're going to lose a round, the way you want to do it is at least with a plant in your pockets. They can buy up in the third if required. Again, they did take the CT side fairly low, but the CT side can always buy up relatively well into this, so you might see a little bit of a purchase. I wonder what they're going to bring to this. So we do have a bit of Tech 9 armor there for GOCL, but he's got a lot of kills, so he can keep himself above 2k, so that third round buy is still very, very viable here. And GGWP know what's going to be coming to that third one, so you've got a couple of SMGs coming out, but it's, again, looking for plants. That's their best situation here at this point. You're very unlikely to turn much else around. Let's see what they can do.
So not utility on every player in GGWP here, as the two that bought the M4s have to, I guess, forego the grenades for the moment. Interesting. Double nading here. This could be devastating for Darkpassage. Not all of them have nades at all. So Vaso lets this one rip. Well, it won't be pretty. I think it was also Mycox back there behind that little corner. So he's just thrown that away. He's given his position up, of course, by throwing it. Breds knows when to strike. Basso not really successful in throwing that HE. I don't even know if he did it there at that point, but it's fine. GGWP are ready to collapse on this. They receive the push, and they deal with it accordingly. KPZ, the only one to fall here, as GOCL finds him up on the tree. But GOCL only has 2 points of health left.
Yeah, it was all KPZ. I thought the smoke then would have actually covered his position off or not allowed them to be able to be seen, but no, he had a really nice little angle just over the top right of it, so he was able to spray in, cull out, I think, 2 there for himself. So again, building back in well to this 9-8 here. GGWP actually not in the worst spot in the world.
No.
I'm not sure if I like the UMP here for Basso, but what can you do?
If he plays drop again, like we've tried to see people do, it can be fine. If you sit in connector, it's probably even better.
Yep, so he's going to put himself towards that spot. But it looks as though it's all going to be coming down towards long. Refresh hasn't been really challenged out much. And you can see that, well, Mycox is just...
He's just... Refresh is... Yeah, well, Mycox is...
He's just bait, essentially, at this point.
Mycox is bait.
Yep.
Well, Refresh there. Bait for catfish, perhaps?
Oh, God.
Refresh now going to come forward. The Famis actually gets himself a couple. He was actually really only supposed to be more of a sonar beacon and give information back to the rest of his team about what Darkpassage were doing, but getting 2 kills, it's just the cherry on top. Gives Basso time now to get towards the site. He has to hold this with a UMP, so this isn't exactly the ideal bit of kit for him at this stage. We'll see if it works out. He is, to my understanding, a stand-in as well for GGWP. Seems to be fitting in just fine.
Yeah, he seems to be doing well, and it's just down to Asmo and Mycox. Asmo working up long. Mycox trying to flank out here, but there's not much he can really find. Brad's already pushed up, locking down one angle. If he can get behind these guys and not give it away, he could be in a great spot, but already flashing out does kind of give away that he's trying to do this sort of play. Asmo's just trying to play safe. Give Mycox time to work, basically. Give him a chance to do some damage, and there you go. Mycox finally gets into the action. KPZ goes down. And now Asmo needs to get into it as well. They need to work off each other, pulling them left, right, and center. And Mycox might get the angle, but no, he walks past, doesn't check to the left just far enough. MKG will say, A big fat no to that, but Asmo snuck his way forward.
Oh, he wasn't spotted there as well.
Oh my god, Asmo almost fluffed the jump. Sick follow-up towards MKG. That's the Asmo we were looking for. And now we're down to the 1v1. Brads was a million miles away here. Asmo has all the time in the world to work with it, but the flash will keep him pinned to that side.
Yeah, it means he can't really go too far and actually set up a decent position. Clever little flash thrown in there. Going to pin me in place for the moment. So that limits, well, if Brads is thinking like that, it limits the possibilities of where Asmo could be. Brads doesn't have to waste time checking all these random spots, and 1 health for Asmo. Not going to be enough, unfortunately. Brads will come through and finish him off, in a defuse eventually will be forthcoming for GGWP. The man's got a kit because he's got a clue, and we do have a tied game at 9 apiece.
All back all together. Asmo with a bit of brilliance, but not enough to do much more, sadly. So that was about all that was going to happen from that. I don't know. I don't actually like how he played that final 1v1 against Brad, so I don't think he needed to go for that wide step out by the grass at the end. He hopped off the site personally, but, you know, hindsight 2020, all that jazz. However, into this round, now the money's starting to become apparent. This is where GGWP should be able to become a little bit more stable. They have been having close rounds, so for them, they need this to be a nice, clean, easy one. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's not the case. And Refresh already hearing out the steps on long.
This won't be clean if Mycox has anything to say about it, I think. You can see he does have the Hamlet as well. He is the full raid boss at this stage, so can do a lot of work, and now has his chance to jump down. He does actually get the kill. KPZ falls that little bit of extra armor on him, going a long way, and now he's quickly made his way back over towards that A side. Basso is actually caught up there in Juliet, if I'm not mistaken, so he's got a few moments here. Now he's out towards the side. Mycox gets the bomb down. That's fine. He almost burns. Down to 9, on his own as well. Not great. And he isn't going to be able to stand up to that particular challenge. 3 is too much for Mycox. I'm not even making jokes anymore. It's just kind of what happened there, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I've got to do this for 3 maps, Mitch. Maybe.
Yeah.
This is tough. This is tough.
These games are close. You know, sometimes when you jump onto these tournaments as well, and you see teams, maybe they're not super familiar with each other, or they're fed in by like an open qualifier system, you quite often think, well, this could be a stomp, really. Could have one team that's just a bit better. It happens a lot in the German scene as well. A lot of games are very, very one-sided, but both these games tonight thus far have been close. Yeah. And that's good.
Well, the thing is that there's a lot of theory around playing to your own skill and playing to your opponent's skill as well. You'd argue that Darkpassage, I actually don't know these teams too well, so I can't really say that, actually. I know some of the players on Darkpassage, that's the only thing. But still, see how well they play into this. As it looks like, again, trying to tender towards B, but there's a 4-man stack out against it. Refresh still doing well over by A. Doesn't seem to be too pressured all that much. They have given over space towards drop, so there are players already infiltrating that. That being Calix and Sasuke. Mycox working out towards long. He is supported by Woxic there, so again, you can see them trying to build into this, a 3-2 split coming through, but already Brad's trying to get above that smoke, and he finds Woxic. That leaves Mycox all alone. Yeah,
and he's had to back away as well. He's realized, well, I can't really stop. I can't really go forward right now. I can't go back, so he's going to sit back around this corner, and he needs to make his way forward eventually. Now, gets taken down. Brad's good position, but Sasuke and Asmo turn it up around elsewhere on the map. It's just Asmo, though. Good smoke. Set himself up for that one. Now a couple shots coming through that smoke, but he's able to survive it. And now it is a 1v2. He could dunk that one on Basso. That'd be quite nice. Gets him low, finishes him off with a shot. Now not really sure where Refresh is at this stage. Doesn't hear anything from drop room. Nothing to really give him the indication. But this pick might tell him, yes, he knows, but he's also low on health now. So his next pick needs to be pretty darn accurate, and it won't be enough. Asmo, yet again, in a clutch situation, but just... oh, dear. Just doesn't have the health to get it done. Goodbye Refresh there, realizing that he was in fact losing health. And change your position. It's good when you got that awareness, you know.
I'm burning, I should move.
I appear to be dying. Perhaps I should rectify this situation.
And yeah. The problem being for Asmo in that situation as well is the fact that Refresh had been playing over by A, so you almost kind of... You saw him starting to look towards platform as if that could have been an option, and it very much could have been going all the way around the back. It can be a very big threat here, but the CT side so far for GGWP seems nice and stable. It seems pretty robust at this point. The retakes have been pretty decent, to be fair. This 4-1 is working out well. Refresh, the one thing that's impressing me is that he doesn't look pressured. A lot of the times, it's all about intuition and how you feel in that instance. He's been holding it incredibly well, so not seeming to be worried at all. And again, this is the same sort of start here, trying to get some drop control, starting to play in towards it. Good damage towards Basso means that now on the line, I think it's MKG who's going to have to back away from it. Nade comes in, so GGWP are letting them in towards his side.
Giving a bit of ground here. Drop room obviously being handed over. May not necessarily be the site yet. As you can see, Sasuke is going to get counter boosted back over. So Darkpassage hoping to use the fact that GGWP know there's presence in the drop room, maybe just to cause them or give them cause to focus it harder. You can see that as what MKG is doing. He's looking straight at the doorway. We're going to see them continue just to slow it down a bit. Basso low from an earlier clash, I think, with someone in drop room. That's why Darkpassage have control of that now. Basso did well to get away with his life, so can't fold him there. Flashes come in, trying to slow Darkpassage down. Now, utility is still burgeoning for them. They've got a lot to work with, and Woxy gets a great shot towards Brads, who's been a problem for them on that point before. They can set up for this site take now a little bit easier.
But look at the time. They're down to 30 seconds. This has to be an all-in-sight play. There is a player on the flank, which is Asmo, but everyone else is focused towards this. And here comes that hit. KPZ has to do work, and he's not able to do too much here, but MKG picks up where he left off. Asmo now, a million miles away, has to get there quickly. He's got 15 seconds, and I think that's too little too late here. Unless he can find these guys back-to-back almost. He's in an unpredictable spot. And there we go. He finds one. He can find the fight still. Refresh needs to just back off from this. He doesn't need to fight this out. He really doesn't need to be this close. Refresh is blinded up and actually swings out on this. Asmo blinded up, though, can't find the shot. And Refresh, risky being in that spot.
I don't know why you don't just run away and just get the heck out of there.
Yeah.
Very risky, like you said. But the Flash, at least in a pinch, he managed to execute all of those maneuvers correctly. Like, I don't know, pop flashing and that kind of thing. Oh, it's an AUG for Basso. Fair enough. El Neo.
Oh. Is Basso just that guy right now? He's playing with like the UMP. He's
the stand-in. He's like, oh, look, pick me up, guys, because I can play with any weapon. Don't know about...
At MP3, hashtag new keyboard.
Yeah.
That old chestnut.
It used to be hashtag MP3s. You have Zs after it. MP3s. Hashtag new mouse. Hashtag new sense.
Gotta let him know. All right, Basso, Refresh. Let's see what you can do with this AUG. Right, if you're willing to buy that, you better be decent with it. And Refresh is going to be leading the charge here. Nice little tap towards Asmo. Expect where Woxic may be, but will he commit towards peeking it? Oh, there's the swing out, a little bit wide on that. And now Basso left in the 1v1. Expected Sasuke to be there, but couldn't adjust in time. Love that slow clap.
Great use of the AUG.
It's a great purchase, wasn't it, dude?
Yeah, I don't know. Could have been accidental. I do that all the time.
Ah, dude.
Could have been accidental. What I kind of imagine the round going is like Basso buys up this AUG, slams people down, then just dabs it, and like, yeah, I can buy whatever I want. But when he had to use it, when he actually had to fire up, it didn't really go too well. So gonna have to keep that old dab up his sleeve for a little bit longer. And now he's gonna be stuck with the USP.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. Although
Okay,
Brads gets it done, Woxic falls.
Big Brads.
Big bad. Bustling Brad gets another one as well. He's good, great control with the scout from here. The headshots coming in thick and fast. Can't quite get the last one, no. Fair enough for him to be a little bit confident. He's done his job with 2.
Problem is, though, that sort of jump peak is incredibly predictable. It's you could see that instantly. Calix was like, "You're gonna do this, and I'm gonna wreck you." It's the only option you have after you've lost out in kind of any sort of duel of position.
Like scout syndrome. I have to jump.
Yeah. Especially if you played like COD 4 Pro Mod, you know how the scopes kind of work, and that is exactly how they like to do it. So, oh,
what a game!
What a game!
What a dream!
It's the dream. I'm gonna make it come back, man. You know.
Yeah.
Like I was watching some of the Swedish teams play recently, actually, as this round just goes by the wayside, and it was like I think it was the Epsilon team against Krill's team, and there was a guy called Fire. I think it's Fire or Fair. I can't remember how you say his name, and he was one of the COD 4 scopes, and now he's playing in like a decent tier CSGO team, which is really cool to see. It's actually really good with the AWP as well. It's always nice to see a little bit of a crossover as I go on my rampages of back in time, because it's a double save of some variety.
I think in Australia, only like 5% of Call of Duty 4 players went to CSGO.
Really?
Yeah, not many of them really managed to make it work for them. Some went to Battlefield.
Yeah.
But not CS. There's only a few. Only the really good players went to CS, so quite a different game. Like, that's for sure.
But yeah, this should be a walk in the park for Darkpassage. Look at what they bought. They've got so many utilities. Yes, Lauren, that's exactly the word you wanted. So many Molotovs so they can just clear out these corners. They can wait this round out pretty much. They can go down to those final throws and then just kind of clear out the corners with the Molotovs. Simple as that, and then it's easy access towards the site. At the moment, they're deciding we could have gone B, but they've been stacking that even on gun round. So why don't we look at A? That seems a good idea.
To be fair, I don't think they've gone A in at least the last 5 or 6 rounds. So this is good. Especially when there's one player at A and it's Basso in Juliet at the moment. now in connector. So now it has to try and set himself up here. Luckily, it's a fairly slow roll, very ponderous movements here for Darkpassage over towards A. But still, there's no reason for GGWP to send any extra players over to A, so they're not. And Sasuke gets MKG. A little bit of a 90-degree bangarang shot there. Lucky to get away with it in some ways, I have to say. And the head of refresh is just not clean off now. Not ideal. Basso gets himself over towards the side, but he's like thinking, do I need to rotate? Probably not, because it's getting a bit hot over here. And yes, he gets finished off by Asmo. Simple as that. It's a Molotov to the site, force the movement, and Brads. Brads with a CZ. And gets on towards Calix there as well. Be kicking himself after that one, I'm pretty sure. A second? Okay, are you good? No armor. Half health. Gets himself 2 nice kills with the CZ. Maybe even salvage an AK. He knows he would like to, but he knows someone's close. But okay, mate, no worries. Gets himself a 3rd there with the CZ, then gets the AK. Finally goes down, but damage done. Especially when the game is this close, any economic damage you can cause can help you later on.
Yes. 12-12. This is gonna be a struggle, Mitch.
It's gonna be a long night. It has been a long night. It is a long night.
Yep.
But that's the way it is.
All right. So looks like a bit of a faster B hit coming out. I don't know why I expected anything else. And there's the pile up already
Sasuke,
happening. Ooh. Just had enough of my cocks.
I understand.
I know it's almost unfathomable to believe that, but it's a thing.
Hmm.
And now MKG going to be taking the opportunity to push up here. Darkpassage seems to have kind of ground to a halt, and there it is. That's the punish on it. Basso's nade as well. Finding Sasuke means that Asmo is your last man alive.
This is good stuff from GGWP, especially they sort of extended quite deeply into the bank to try and buy up in this round. They've really made it count, especially after that last round. So Darkpassage not only lose this round, but the last round they obviously got a lot of guns taken off them. It's just perfect, really, for GGWP. Still, the Turkish side have enough to buy into, but it's not going to be stellar. 2 Tech 9s in there, not ideal.
No, certainly not. And looking at how these guys are playing, you've got Calix and Woxic picking up the pace, really. They've been doing pretty well for themselves, but outside of that, you've got to be honest here, Mycox's performance has started to dwindle more than anything. You need to see him trying to pick up some form, but already on long, Refresh is going to find 2. But there you go, you call out Mycox, and he seems to arise.
Yeah, Refresh got more of Mycox than he could handle there. To be fair, there were a bunch of Darkpassage players already pushing in. So his Tech 9's working when they're taking those closer battles. And now the Tech 9s have been thrown away, replaced with rifles. The Darkpassage make progress through this round. GGWP, that was a chance for them to actually start to really stifle Darkpassage. It's not going to happen. And KPZ is on his own. And the bomb is down. And of course, he has very little utility to work with. Nothing he could use without giving his position away anyway. So he's going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. It's a waltz over towards the side. He somehow gets Mycox there as well. Quick flick will get it done. And Woxic turns it around here. So 13-13. These guys are going to take it all the way by the looks of things, but money. I said GGWP had to invest fairly heavily in that round before last. As a result, they have to save.
Oh, back and forth we go. I say back and forth. Darkpassage has Darkpassage has started to claim these rounds, but they have been close. Let's remind ourselves, this hasn't been a clean game yet. No. This should be a clean round. As you said, they finally broke the back of GGWP, so their money again gets reset to this sort of very low limited buy. So Calix and the boys can be working up long, use the rifles at range. It makes sense. It's the logical thing to do. Just take your time through it. Refresh, the only one there with the CZ. He's been doing well playing solo, but he shouldn't be able to achieve too much here, but actually does find one until Mycox shuts down the pace.
That's good. Breads will fall. Refresh down as well. So, I mean, losing one, it's pretty common, obviously, to lose to some eco situations on A long. There are a lot of nooks and crannies that you can get into, but not this time, at least. Woxic picks up Basso now, just one MKG left. And this puts Darkpassage in a very commanding position. At least with the one-round advantage is very important in this part of the game. We saw how much it meant. In the earlier Cobblestone game in the evening, which was 16-14 as well, this one looking like it's going to be going in quite a similar direction.
What's the other maps, actually? We've got Mirage as well. Actually, I look forward to Mirage. I love watching Mirage. It's my favourite map.
I enjoy it too.
A little bit of Mirage.
Oh, this is riveting stuff from MKG, but obviously there's not much point for him going for much now. Every penny, every gun you can save at this point is going to help you out. You're going to have to really dig deep for these last couple rounds. And while that bomb ticks away, MKG peeks, wants to get someone maybe just retreating away from the site, hoping a cheeky little shot will do it, but no. So, I mean, it would have been a minimal investment if you had the P250 and killed an AK player. Wouldn't have got the gun, but still would have got it out of his hands. And yeah, he dies, but that's fine. Buy back up this round now as well. Still not stellar though, Lauren. It's a FAMAS there. MKG can't really get a nice gun either. Probably a FAMAS for him. Or, yep.
Yeah, it's kind of throwing everything into this one. At the end of the day, you don't want to get Darkpassage onto 15. You really need to avoid it as much as possible. And it looks like we've gone back to somewhat of a default. Or, no, actually, they're watching the boost. Okay, so I know Woxic could be gifted an opportunity. He's going to take that with open hands and open arms. Refresh there goes down, and they know to some degree that actually he's been soloing that out until he generally gets support later into the rounds from Basso coming over or what have you. But already you can see the response. You can see Mycox now pulling himself over towards 8. Going to be looking to further this pressure, and there's only Basso waiting. In
my opinion, CT aggression on Cobblestone works a lot differently to it does, like, for example, in a map like Mirage. Yep. Because CT aggression obviously forces you to peek out into locations where the enemy could be in one of 6 places, especially if you're peeking A long or going into that middle building. If you're a CT on Mirage and you peek into, I don't know, T-ramp, okay, well, there's only going to be one place they're going to come from. So you got to play percentages properly here, and for Refresh to peek like that as well, there could have been a multitude of locations where his opponent was, and Woxic was not going to give him a second chance there, and you shouldn't expect that. So now going into this with one player down, they've run out of stall utility. They've got 1 smoke, sorry. I tell a lie, but Basso might not even have a chance to use that at this stage because he's pushed up on A. So for him to actually be able to pull out a smoke in time and get away, not happening.
No, Basso's going to do what he can, but it is a one and done, or it should be. Oh, but he makes more of it. Sasuke gets absolutely trashed, and we are down to the 2v... Well, I was going to say 2v2, but Mycox cannot be contained at this point. No. 15 to 13. It looks like they're on the verge of picking this one up.
Well, I think if you're Mycox, you're enjoying being in Darkpassage right now. I think all of them starting to bring it together. A bit of a weird start. Actually, no, it was a good start for them, really. They were like 5-1.
Yeah.
But GGWP started to put rounds together. I think this T-side for Darkpassage, they've found their stride. It happened after a few close rounds. We knew that GGWP were actually in the lead at one point by maybe 1 round. But here it is. Potentially the last round, and the GoTV lag usually tells us a little bit about when the game's going to finish. So we have an idea. Again, GGWP, they're by. Let's talk about that. It's just a scout. It's a UMP and then pistols for the rest here. That smoke that they threw is one of 3. One of 3 that GGWP have to work with. So they will stall for as long as they possibly can and try and force a mistake. But Breads just gives his head on a silver platter. And Mycox again with the second. Nice stuff from him. That flash is going to come in. No follow-up to it, though. Just a warning. But GGWP lacking the players, lacking the equipment and the guns to get this done.
And impact kills like that from Mycox at this point are huge. You know, it just opens it up. The pistols can be a little deadly at that sort of range. They're able to get away with it. They didn't have the opportunity, and already the flash comes out. And no more for Mycox. He has to just chill out a bit here. He's getting a little overzealous just to run into it, but you can see him leap straight out. It's Woxic this time to find him in the end, and now Basso and Refresh. I'll make it just Refresh. 1v3, and Woxic says a big bad no. 16 to 13. Darkpassage closing it out. Yeah, I mean, Darkpassage won 7 out of the last 8 rounds of that game, so you really started to see them run away with it. That was just, obviously, we saw their opponents try to buy up multiple rounds as well. They've never really managed to get economically stable, had to sort of force that weird double FAMAS buy in the round prior to this one, and then they just had nothing but pistols to try and keep the game going, and maybe a scout thrown in the mix there as well, Lawrence. So, first map wasn't quite as close as in the first series, but Darkpassage definitely looking rather strong here. And we're on to Mirage next. Yeah, if it's anything to go by in the form of what I know some of the previous teams that Asmo's been in, they are relatively drilled to the fact of how they like to play out rounds. So I'm hoping we get to see a more tactical game, hopefully, or something along those lines. I don't know. We'll find out after the break, I can imagine. We're back soon, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go too far. Game 2 of this series is just around the corner.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Go Champions League. This is the first week of qualifiers, of course, and our final game of the night, we've already seen one map. It was Darkpassage. They got away with it on Cobblestone. Now on to Mirage. The ninth round was won by GGWP, who will start on the CT side.
Yeah, and this is GGWP's choice as well, so hopefully they can put up a bit of a more, let's say, conclusive performance here. They did end up getting a good couple of rounds, but already a B stack for the CT side. Could play in well to them picking up this round, considering we have a lot of players already looking over this way. And look at this initial aggression coming out from the likes of Basso and MKG. GOCL, the only player who's keeping tabs on this. They're going to be able to hear some of these footsteps. And the bomb actually still in the hands of GOCL could mean trouble here again. Oh, they've gone away with murder.
Fake.
This is brilliant. This is absolutely outstanding. GOCL, I know there's kills going on elsewhere, but look at this play. Yep. Look at that. Everyone trying to get around to these guys where he's got complete free access towards the site.
Perfect.
This is just stunning to watch.
Yeah, I think Brad's was very, very toey. He heard the action in underpass. As soon as he saw that flash on A, he was ready to go. But Asmo was actually in T-ramp. He threw the flash. He just backed right away from A. So there's actually multiple layers of fakeage here for Darkpassage they've been able to pull off. And, well, gets them the bomb, gets them 4 players still alive as well. So they're actually won out in some of those fights. You can't ask for a much better situation. No,
MikeHawks could get caught out, though. He's about to get hammered in at the back, and actually he makes the most of it while he can. KPZ does come up, but there we go. There's that little bit of a strike from the back lines from MKG, but now left in the 1v3. This is near on impossible, and now to be pretty much confirmed by Asmo, but a brilliant start from Darkpassage. That was a beautiful round. I love that play. And
you did say as well that teams that Asmo has been on in the past have been quite tactical, strategic as well, especially when it comes to Mirage. So this one looks straight out, looks to be straight out of the playbook. We do see, of course, there's actually one for Darkpassage. Obviously, they're on the T side here. They're going to make the way up T-ramp. MikeHawks right out in front.
Yeah, MikeHawks is going to be trying to lead the way. And KPZ was the only player to be at least dedicated towards the site, but MKG's the only one to really draw blood so far, as MikeHawks does punish Brads. And now left with 3. What more can they do? That's a good start for Basso, but the bomb is being planted while this happens. He does recover the scout. Refresh looking for some opportunities through the smoke, but Sasuke being quite the ninja here, being careful and cautious, and hiding himself away. Yeah,
so Basso does have the scout here as well, but with all this smoke and people hiding, it's going to be hard for him to actually connect, and he has to come forward on towards the site. Asmo puts him out of his misery. Now Refresh with just the deagle. He has a lot of health, to be fair, almost as much as the entirety of Darkpassage put together. But it may well not be enough. We'll have to see. He's taking a lot of damage trying to get into position here as well, and the aim punch just proves far too much. Sasuke makes it very, very difficult for Refresh to respond.
Yeah, and it's Sasuke and MikeHawks to be the ones to get off to a flying start already. Sasuke, a good couple of kills to come from that round specifically, but even prior to that had a little bit of presence. And you can see the response now coming out. You've got the 2 SMGs, so Calix and MikeHawks will be the ones at the forefront trying to get the kills in, basically trying to do as much financial damage as they can. But here comes the counter, loads of players towards mid. These pop flashes better be on point, because here we go. There's the spray down, and it's Calix coming up with the goods.
Yeah, it gets traded in for 1, but Sasuke's already there. Oh, it's beautiful. It is just beautiful from Darkpassage. Set that one up perfectly. With the amount of players that had concentrated towards mid, it was just what the doctor ordered to completely shut down a CT stack straight up the middle. Beautiful stuff from them. Really shutting down GGWP, of course, on this CT side. Don't get to plant bombs or get any extra money in these first few rounds, and that means that they go pretty light on for this buy.
Yeah, and this looks like a default A coming in. You've got GOCL trying to take a little bit of a fight in mid, or basically make it hard to rotate when they make that hit come through. And losing out very early on, not a great way to start it, but you're going to see the smokes coming out very soon. Here they come. And you need to wait for the one towards stairs to come in to allow Sasuke to do any work here, but already Asmo just barrels straight in. And KPZ next to fall. Asmo doing a big bit of play now. Refresh and MKG so far away in good spots for the rotate, but Asmo is just barreling straight through all of them. First he went in towards A, and now he's just gone further. Really
nice from him. He's actually had a quiet map, that last one. Wasn't able to do a lot because he was over on the A site, on the CT side of Cobblestone, but this is just perfect from him as well. It was funny because I think it was maybe Calix who was sitting up inside Palace and was waiting for something. And Asmo's already on the site, and he's like, oh, crap, I better get moving.
Yep.
And Asmo was able to hold his own up against 3, gets 3 kills, even pushed towards MKG in CT and took his AWP out of his hands. But Darkpassage don't want one for this round. They're coming in with all AKs. It's just all aggression from these guys.
Brad's kind of fluffing his flash out towards mid, not able to make a peek off the back of it with the deagle. And I like this from Darkpassage, just playing as a team, playing as a collective, taking all together fights. I actually don't like defaults almost in up against ecos, just because you know you're going to get straight up challenges. You don't want to give opportunities over towards the other side. Brad's at least catch 1, but that's all he's going to get here, as now Basso with the armor and the P250 outnumbered drastically and very outgunned. I'm going to be reminded of that by Asmo in the end of the plant even came through as well, if I'm not mistaken, at the end, quite possibly. But yeah, the main factor there is I like the way they played that, just all together, not risking it, not taking any sort of chances that could get turned and picked apart one by one. But this is a good buy for GGWP. So double AWP's actually coming out straight away. And the way you counter that generally is doing defaults away, and that looks exactly what Darkpassage is doing. It's a bit of a theory-crafted thing. It's very hard to retake and hard to do any damage when you have only one real target to focus on, so this could be quite deadly.
Basso gets himself in lower dark here to start things off. It'll be a smoke as well over towards T-ramp, sorry. So just to buy some time here, Darkpassage don't really care though. They're actually going to push through the smoke here. It's a flash that assists them now, and Basso had no chance. It's a strong position lower dark, but he just didn't win the fight at all against Sasuke, who comes around the corner and just puts one in his head. Beautiful dark nade as well to KPZ, and Bread's a lot in his plate, more than a loaf, that's for sure, and he backs away after trying to take a no-scope down in towards cutout.
Yeah, but the flash coming out towards stairs is going to make it very, very hard. And what a absolute cheeky plant there. Mycox just going in for it, gets the plant for short of all things, so not what they expected already. Brads tries to peek up and over and gets punished for it, leaving it down to this 2v2.
And now, like you said, this default play towards A, you've got MKG with the AWP who's trying to peek into this situation, but won't be finding too much right now as well. And Darkpassage don't necessarily know there's a double AWP in play. MKG hasn't scored any kills. If they're keeping track, it doesn't really matter, but still, Calyx doesn't give a damn. He takes him down. And that big investment, it's another gun round being shut down by GGWP. That's 2 in a row. Yeah, sure, round loss bonus is starting to peak, but Darkpassage is showing no signs of slowing down. Yeah,
this is the thing. They're playing so well. They're keeping not necessarily the most clean rounds, but, you know, bomb plants. They're just showing real dominance, and this is meant to be GGWP's map. They've got the CT side start. This is meant to bode well for them, and it's just really not at this point. And this is what they like to do again. A set piece towards mid, the pop flash over, face together, try and not take too many risks. There is still armor and deagles on board for the CT, so that can cause some issues. But you can see how Darkpassage want to get around that. They want to take these instant fights. They want to take those straight up, one-for-ones, and it works out really well.
MKG falling early as well. He was just the only real thorn in the side that actually had existed for Darkpassage. He was holding well through mid, and there's Woxic on towards Basso. So this should be very much what you'd expect from an eco bash round here. You can see Mycox is checking his corners there as well, especially after a refresh takes down Woxic, who is the AWPer, by the way. So these pistols now starting to come into their own a bit more. Brads has managed to salvage himself an AK, but he doesn't get to use it right now because he's in the middle of the map. So KPZ, for the next 10 seconds, he's on his own. So far, so good. Deagle shot works, but not the second, and now Brads has to come into this. Bomb not planted yet. Asmo will probably work on that in a moment if he has to. But keeping Brads at long range was a good idea for Darkpassage there. 7 rounds to none here, unanswered. And this is looking a lot like Cash in our first game of the day. Just the T side getting off to a huge start. Yeah, this is massive for them. And the CTs just don't seem to have an answer. I don't know what's going on with them. Back to the default A hit. Again, as soon as they feel that double AWP's out to play. You've got, last time it was the AWP going middle. I wonder if it's again. No, actually, they have someone else going there. It's Asmo. So Asmo's going to be trying to play the catch-all role. They could again go for that plant towards short. Then he can come into the action. That'd be another good plan off the back of it. And there's no read here. The Brads will at least find Mycox. There you go. There's a second. Brads is doing the work. Can he find any more? It's a 3v3 now. Yeah, a little bit of time still before GGWP properly get towards aim, with Brad sort of cut out. Refresh flashed as he comes out of jungle. This is a chance for Darkpassage to establish control of A. Now, the bomb is loose on the site, so someone still needs to go and attend to that. And in a 3v3 situation, you need to take down the guns in the game before you even think about it. So Sasuke, there's a boost just through that smoke. Should be able to spot it. Should have heard that AWP go off. He should have heard the jump down as well. But was he ready for 2? Not quite. Still gets the AWPer though. And KPZ now has to just take his time. He's only got Woxic yet to deal with. And Refresh is on the flank. And Refresh is praying for time here. That's all he wants is time. If Woxic wins that 1v1, and look at it, there you go. KPZ is basically giving him time, saying, all right, get over here. Now Woxic, I'm not sure how he can work this one out. There's very few ways he could ever predict that Refresh would be here. He went through Palace though, the long way, and didn't even go through ramp. So that actually let Woxic at least plant. But still, you're not expecting someone to be at Palace. This is all down to timing now. They can clear out this site pretty well. They know they almost know he's going to have to be at CT here. And oh, the prediction from Woxic is perfect. And he still has a molly towards site. KPZ has nothing. He's got to go for the straight up fight now. And Woxic's just going to get ground as well. It's going to come down to this. And Woxic too sharp there. Was crouched. KPZ had to adjust his aim there. Didn't have enough time to do it at all. So 8-0. That might have been the chance for GGWP to get at least 1 on the board. But the way Darkpassage are playing, it may well have just ended up being a reset anyway. Perfect stuff from Woxic there. Compromising position. Still had to plant the bomb. But the time was definitely working in his favour.
Yeah, this is really nice play. So, ooh, 1-for-1 trade. That's not too bad. And he gets info. That's not bad for a bit of a force up with a Deagle here. That's all you can really ask for in mid, if I'm completely honest. And now he's going to have to hope that the rest of his team can find something. They've got guns here, but mycox doesn't care. He just comes and takes the head off of a refresh, and already a huge advantage for the T side. Bringing the CTs down to 3 means every bomb site is vulnerable. The only issue being, have GGWP pushed up? Is there a position unaccounted for? But they have 1 minute and 20 now. They have so much time to play with.
Yeah, and I mean, the one player on B is Basso, and this is not exactly a super secret position. He's hoping just to try and get information as well, so he can call for the rotate. And if you want to put yourself in a position to get information, normally that means that it's kind of easily to read into. So Basso probably will try and escape this as soon as he sees them. Yep, information given now as well. He needs KPZ to join him. Smokes on the bomb. He's going to have to take the fight here as well. I think he was spotted running over towards shops, but he gets the kill. Asmo falls down. Nice little headshot from the man now as well. Very low on health as Calyx responds back, and still Darkpassage is going to muscle the way in.
Yeah, Calyx having a massive swing up in performance here, but it's GOCL to go down now, leaving it in a 1v2. mycox and Calyx trying to do something. The spray just not connecting from Brad's.
Punch, man.
Yeah, it kind of sucks to work against. The bomb yet to go down. There it is. And now can he work out where the 2 players are? It doesn't matter. As said, the aim punch coming in, and mycox and Calyx making quite the team here. 10 for mycox, 14 for Calyx.
Not looking good at all for GGWP here. I talked earlier on, said like it seems like these teams are quite evenly matched on some of these maps, but I also mentioned that we just get these weird maps where teams just struggle, fall apart. So either some teams are just particularly good on maps, or some just aren't.
Oh,
right?
mycox just going in dry.
Doesn't even care about the nade thrown behind him as well. mycox without a care in the world, and why should he have one? Basso though shuts him down, and here comes the auto shotgun from KPZ. Now he turns it on, gets himself a second. This forces GOCL back, and finally GGWP grows some teeth, and they use it to shred mycox and co. And now Asmo has to try and spray it down. Quite going to be enough there as well. So the round comes up for GGWP quite late in the piece, enough for them to buy a little bit off the back of it. But again, the reset potential is always looming. Yeah,
it's the first time as well Darkpassage have gone A against a possible kind of like force buy or anything of those that variety, especially against an eco. They like to do those mid takes. Again, maybe just kind of falling into that going through the motion stage here. This is going to be another default pretty much coming out for these boys. We'll see those smokes come in. Once I get, you know, to grips with cameras, it's tricky. It's tricky, guys. But it is a 5 play towards A.
Yeah, those smokes are going to come down. You notice that actually KPZ's the only real player attending on that side, and he actually gets around the smoke. So he's in a bit of a compromising position. He's out in the open, but he gets himself a kill. Time to get back behind the firebox. And he's going to take 5 for a second as well. Perfect stuff from him. Essentially, he holds against 4, gets 2 kills. You can't ask much more of a player than that. The bomb gets planted just before mycox dies there as well. There was a dunk nade involved. MKG protected by Basso behind him as GOCL tried to push in. Great setup for GGWP. A chance for them now to start to build some momentum. Sasuke is going to be mollied forward. He's got no choice but to come out. He actually burns while he gets a kill. And there's the finish. It's refresh to get it done. Nice work there from GGWP, really. Individually, they're held against bigger odds.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
That looks like a very lounging pose.
Just like JDM.
Straight out of the JDM playbook,
That's it. All right, double ops now for the CTs. Again, maybe we'll see something here. I'm hoping. I want to see a good game between these two. It does feel as though with this sort of huge lead, Darkpassage really are just controlling this whole game. I don't see much of an option, but if GGWP get the last couple of rounds, they get every single round on the way out, they are back in with a chance in the second half. It can always turn itself around, but it's slim. So far, it's been a bit of a masterclass here by Darkpassage in comparison to GGWP. But let's see what Darkpassage come up with in this one. It looks like a very slow default here.
Yeah, playing with AKs as well, no AWP. So their options for getting picks become a lot riskier, especially up against 2. So we'll see Asmo will just be throwing the window smoke. So that will be the go signal, I guess, for mid-presence. KPZ, that will be in connector to receive this. Although he is currently smoked off, it won't be forever. What's the play in here? Everyone's putting their heads together. And it wasn't actually towards window side, it was on towards short, which makes more sense now.
It's left a bit of a...
They don't know what they're doing.
Bit of a gap. That's the biggest problem.
Fresh
has a great angle now.
There's some confusion here as well. I think GOCL and Asmo finally have decided to actually go B. So, I mean, a very minimal attempt at trying to fake something in mid. Refresh already got himself out of mid window onto short, so he can respond to this pretty easily, but missing that first shot is not going to help. Now, information given across to Darkpassage about the presence of Refresh. They know he's on short now. So GOCL and Asmo already pushing B, may have to think twice. And KPZ gets a bit of damage through there. That smoke not hindering him too much. Not able to kill Calyx there, but trade's going in favor of the CTs right now, as that bomb has been dropped inside apartments over on B. Sasuke and Calyx have to fight their way out of this the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, blow for blow at this point. 25 seconds. Sick little pick up there towards MKG. That's what you want, but now Basso's the big problem.
So
Sasuke doesn't even predict it. He's not even looking for it, and there he goes down. Basso had been playing that spot for quite some time, even in the prior round, so maybe a little bit lackluster to not peak that again. When you have 9 rounds advantage, your brain just kind of goes, nah. But they need to keep it kind of on point here, let's be honest. It's certainly not over, and Brad's looking to build up some money for himself.
So the first eco of the game for Darkpassage, or a save at the very least. They had a lot of money to sit on, and that has dwindled. It will dwindle after 3-4 buy rounds or so. GGWP have done the hard work. They ground out 3 gun rounds in which they won, and now they can maybe just take a seat here, but not get complacent. That's the important part. Calyx will catch you with your pants around your ankles if you dare do that. So refresh now. His AWP given over to Calyx. Just the man for it. He and Woxic have both been using that so far to good effect. Now Calyx can creep up on towards that shore. We've got Asmo watching from Palace. 2 players very deep back on A site here as well.
But look at this fake. Look at where that bomb is.
Calyx did fall on short, by the way. So Bread's going forward with the P90. That aggression pays off. Gets that gun out of Calyx's hands. And Sasuke falls on A. I think he actually came out of Connector. I'm not even sure. They shut down the Palace presence as well. So those 2 deep players back on the A site for GGWP have netted them a couple of kills there as well. Sometimes just patient play pays off. Woxic's just hoping for a plant at this stage.
He needs to go already. This is the thing. He's taken too long on this, to the fact that already you're going to see people like Brad's turning around and coming back. So now he can't really cross out. He should have been able to hear Brad's... Yeah, there's no chance he can do this. Unless Brad's is blind. And then...
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, my. Okay.
What is going on?
I think Brad's can still check this, though. It's not like he won't... Okay, no, he won't.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Is this real? This is real life. Okay, so AWP in the hands now of Woxic. Did see a player jump across.
Oh, no!
The timing was almost terrible for him, but he may actually be able to turn this one around now. Fakes the bomb plant, wants to draw another player out of hiding, but no one from GGWP is going to acquiesce to that particular request. Both of them are healthy, but so is Woxic. Has a flash as well.
Okay, turns it, and now needs to isolate these 2 players into individual 1v1s. I almost started to believe there, Mitch. I was getting a little bit nervous. That got too close. That got way too close.
So you go from being 1v4 to getting 2 kills and a bomb plant. I'd be happy with that.
I'd be exceedingly happy with that. I don't know how you can do it, but yeah, I'd be bloody thrilled at that. 4-9 now. They get... The last couple of rounds are really going to be quite definitive about this one. Again, before when this double AWP was a presence, when it was a factor, we saw those defaults to A being extremely valuable, but not the case this time. They're going to go for the B hit, which can work just as well. All in-sight hits negate AWPs. That's the point of it. And here we go. Basso already, though, laying down a smack, and Refresh going to join in with one, and this is just a massacre again. Basso now predicting the short presence from Sasuke, but Sasuke will at least come out with 1 for himself there in the end. Actually made him with 2.
Another gun round squandered by Darkpassage. Starting to run out of momentum, but still almost half time. Can buy up yet again with the money that had saved from a couple of rounds where they just taken it easy. So they want a 10-5 here. I mean, to be fair, buying 9 rounds for yourself already on that T side is pretty darn good, but it's either GGWP adapting, but also Darkpassage looking a little less driven, a little less certain about some of what they're doing here as well.
It looks again like these A hits are coming in. So let's see the position. We've got MKG sitting towards CT. There should be a flash or at least a smoke there.
Trying to shut down AWPs.
They're going to go in quick. Look at their position. They're going incredibly fast here. They're not actually going to do the default smokes. They're taking straight up fights. But against AWPs, you need to smoke them out. You need to just pressure them. Otherwise, you're going to have the perfect time of it. There you go. Mycox gets up close and personal, and that's what you want to see.
They want to play ahead of the smoke here as well. I think it's going to make it hard for AWPs to pick into these sites and actually do something about it. Like you said, you got to respect the AWPs, but you do take those AKs in to try and counteract the impact of AWPs. So nice move by Bassett there as well. Picks up Asmo in towards mid, and now Mycox, it is all on you. There's a lot of weight for Mycox to carry, but I'll have to see if he's up to the task now. Sees an AWP, rightfully ignores it. Wants to sneaky his way towards B. Now in the next 3 seconds, in fact, not even that. Basso already looking in towards that CT area. So Mycox can quite easily go through that little hidey hole there, but better off going underpass.
We'll see what Mycox can do. Can he
it's
slip
safer
into
to
the
go
hole
underpass
or
as well.
Yeah, it is much safer, but he will make sound in his mind. He's like, I don't know how close these guys are.
Mycox will... Oh, he's going to go through the hole. And Basso's watching very tight angle for Basso, but he fluffs the shot. Oh, no! No, Mycox picks him up. That should never have happened. And now another plant for Darkpassage, but they need more than that this round. And I like this. Returning to the scene of the crime. It's an orc in the hands of MKG, though. And he was ready for Mycox to re-peek him.
Close rounds in the end, though. Let's be very honest about this. That turnaround was pretty drastic. It literally just like a switch hit, and those 6 rounds back-to-back have brought at least a competitive game to our hands. If that carried on like Darkpassage was doing, that was just, you know, pound after pound of just sheer power coming out from them. You can't really deal with that. But a good half all around, I feel. I imagine Darkpassage a little frustrated they didn't find an answer once GGWP decided to turn up. But still, time to flip it over, see how these guys do on the second half.
Yep, remember, 1 pistol round win for GGWP will completely erase memories of that 9-round winning streak from Darkpassage at the start of that game. So, I mean, yeah. Everything is like a pendulum right now. Darkpassage definitely not with the momentum, but they have now a clean slate, a chance to create some of their own momentum here as well, now all things being even in this pistol round. Double flash for Asmo, and a kit, of course, for him. Armor, and just armor, actually, as well. No Tech 9's been brought up here for GGWP, just the Glocks.
And this seems very reminiscent of what we saw before. Sasuke needs to back away quickly. He's going to get a lot of pressure towards Connector, and then expect maybe a boost as well. You need to be very cautious of this, as it is a very big possibility, and you can see him trying to fend him away, but the reloads at the worst time. He just about makes it out, and now the danger's all again in mid.
Yeah, we give the Glock train, I guess, the ability to at least put that one player in towards mid control for GGWP, now starting to increase. And picks like that aren't going to help. Mycox gets picked up by MKG up on short. Calix responds, needs more, needs to do more. Woxic knows this player above him, but that player also expected to check lower dark. Woxic needs another, and he gets it. The bomb goes loose, and now a 2v2. MKG needs to work away on towards the side. He didn't even know where Sasuke was, but Refresh picks up Asmo and leaves the man on his own. 7-9. Again, like I was saying, that lead that Darkpassage had is all but gone.
Yeah, it really has vanished at this point. You can see the instant upgrade coming in on the rifles. They are not messing around here. I want to see how many we end up with. Okay, so 3 rifles and 2 SMGs. Not too surprising. A little bit of a smoke towards the top of mid. Just going to allow them to cross out, take the straight-up fights, because they know there's going to be deagles probably in presence towards that sort of factor. MKG, nice throw, mate. And already Darkpassage just be playing close angles on mid. Not going to take the straight-up fights, as they should. Just hold the pushes, and you'll be fine. By fine, I mean they're not going to win, but... You know.
Be okay.
Yeah, don't do that.
Sasuke going for something there as well. Again, we talked about that CT aggression sometimes. Can work on Mirage more than most maps, but when you're under-kitted, it can be tricky. So Sasuke has been felled. And it was just that one kill that was really needed in mid. Now, GGWP not in any hurry to make a move. Still got a minute and 13 seconds on the clock. Will ultimately go B here. And Mycox is about to get a lot of attention.
Mycox really just tucking himself in the corner as well. And just hoping there's commitment more than anything towards his site. If he holds his position and doesn't get scared by there being mid-presence, he could do some damage. Mycox is certainly in a decent spot.
Time will tell. He's going to have 3 players to deal with, and Mycox has nothing but the 5-7, which can do its job, but he doesn't have a lot of health. No one's checked that spot yet, but oh, there it is. MKG does come straight through and sees him. Now 3 players left for Darkpassage, working in with these pistols and nothing but an assortment of them as well. It's not going to matter though. KPZ shuts it on down. 2 players fall, and now Calix in CT. There are 2 players in shop. It's a matter of time before this man is also taken down, and Darkpassage at least will have the chance to buy in later on. But this round as well, it was a minimal investment. Maybe they're hoping to buy something next round, but they got no money. It'll probably be a clean eco from the Turkish side.
Yeah, you'd assume as such. Let's see, can Calix do anything? Ideally, you just want to keep the armor. The gun's, you know, another nice bit of silver lining, but while we see these guys actually, I don't know, is he going to get anything? They're all exiting together, so it'd be tricky for him to stay alive, but he might be able to catch up with one in the other. Nice stuff from Calix there. That'll do. That's not bad. As I said, the money's going to be rubbish anyway. They're going to have to eco it, but if he at least keeps the armor and the CZ, he can put himself in the corner. But let's look at who's doing well already. KPZ, Brad's having a good game. On the other side, it seems that Mycox is a consistent factor in, you know, bringing a little bit of fire to it, but it's Calix who's been standing out to me this game.
Calix is almost like the secondary AWPer for this team as well. Almost seems like Woxic or Calix have it in hand. He now in lower dark, of course. He's the only one with actually a remotely upgraded pistol. The rest are on P2Ks and USPs. They just brought nothing at all into this round, which is reasonable and sensible, especially now that GGWP have won 8 rounds in a row, and they're going to replicate Darkpassage's streak from earlier on in the game. There's just no two ways about it. These guys can't break each other's streaks, it seems, until at least 9 rounds have passed. Darkpassage has to hope that GGWP doesn't put up a longer streak than 9 rounds. That'd be getting pretty dire. But they need to wait this one out, hope to try and get some value, do some economic damage, and hang on until the gum round comes around.
Pretty much. I'm sure they're just going to be talking things over as well at the end of the day. Get themselves prepared and... Looks like GGWP. Words are so hard right now, Mitch. You know, they are quite tricky.
The problem is that, like, W is a 3-syllable letter to pronounce.
W, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one letter that takes 3 syllables in English.
Why have you got to be like that?
That's what I was complaining before. I said, why don't you do what the Germans do and just pronounce it V? So GGVP. Easy. 1 freaking syllable, man. I'm telling you, it's not hard. Make it happen. W. Why? It's like, that's why Americans shorten to W. Because they can't be bothered saying 3 syllables. And I respect that. I would never say it because I'd sound like a hick, but I respect that. So done. So done with this W nonsense.
English is tricky, alright. I can barely speak it. Englando is hard. But what is this buy? Why are we seeing these things? Where's it gone?
Yeah, it's the Krieg.
Scumbag, just buying the sodding Krieg all the time. I hate these sort of buys. They are cheesy and stupid, and it'll probably work. And I'm going, Lauren, you're so stupid.
Why are you mad? I did it today in my DMG game, and it fucking worked great. I was like, okay. It was perfect.
Oh man, it's one of those days, guys.
The first time for everything, you know.
Yeah. Well, first time casting my cocks, but. What can you do? The double stack towards Palace coming out as well for the CT side, as you can see, trying to get some CT info, which is going to work out well, encouraging the likes of Asmo to place a lovely grenade. And don't you dare kill Asmo with this. I hope you get one shot.
Let's go, my friend. Let's go.
No, stop it. I'm glad.
He's just.
Yes! Yes, my cocks! Get in there. 3v3 now.
Well and truly in. KPZ fakes the bomb plant. Sasuke picks up MKG. And well, it's a 3v2. Darkpassage now. It's been a 9-round streak for both of these teams. Will we see that be consistent for GGWP? That would mean the Darkpassage win this round, of course. But they have a retake to mount. They have 3 flashes, 2 smokes between them. That's a lot of good stuff. But they've got to use them effectively. They've got to execute and play off them properly. KPZ moves back towards Forest. And Refresh moves up towards Short. Great little combo there as well.
Oh
Refresh, hard to take down. Now Woxic Refresh 1v1. And there it is. Woxic gets the shutdown, 3 kills for that man, and a defuse, and both teams now 9-round streaks apiece, but Darkpassage bring it back. Still, the way it is now is that GGWP has a lot of money built into this, a decent amount to buy again.
And look at DP's money. That's the problem here. It's not particularly great. It's going to be a very shambolic buy in that form that they can get a bit of things. They can kind of spread the money out as best they can. But in comparison to GGWP's, it's far from perfect. They have the full set. That's everything you'd want at this point. So Woxic, you better be ready here. He's going to have to deal with a lot of pressure at mid. 4 players, to be specific. It looks like an ace split, considering you have that 1 player towards Palace, which is Brad's, if I'm not mistaken. So again, this is going to be quite tricky to hold on to. He's going to need the help from that player in connector, if I can observe it. It will be Sasuke. Right, so Sasuke...
Actually, can you...
Mycox.
Yeah, observe Mycox for a bit longer. The nade comes down onto him from short there as well. He's hoping to try and... What?
Nothing.
Observe it! Them. Observe him. Observe him. All right, 4v4. Mycox now down to 5 health as well. It's not ideal. He's seen better days. He will bounce back. Spring back even, like a sapling in the breeze.
Shut up, please. Just...
And that bomb will eventually go in the direction of B here as well. So Asmo's sitting back at Forest here. And Darkpassage definitely need this round. Like you said, their economy needs to be solidified. They've had a lot of rounds where they've lost. They've just managed to get somewhere now as well. They need to cement their position and start to, I guess, move towards that final round, that magic number 16.
It seems though Asmo's got a really nice read on this. The problem is if he can deal with a hit or not. You've got Woxic supporting by Short. Just occasionally peeking out. But again, it's Asmo who's going to have to deal with all of this. And here we go. There's the first player out. And absolutely no flashes, but he whiffs the spray. But there's the pickup from Woxic. Now down to this 3v2. He gets overwhelmed, and Mycox just gets shattered in the end. And now Calyx, Refresh, and MKG. These are the 3 men left standing. Merely 1, though, for the CT side. With the bomb being hesitant to be put down.
I'm going to say, these last few rounds have been very good for Refresh. He's had, I think, at least a double in the last 2. And Calyx, though, opens it up. Now makes it a 1v1. Refresh is low as heck. And even a cheeky little wallbang might even get the job done. I don't know what the permeation is of them, but no, it's Refresh He comes around the corner, he gets away with it. Now these two teams are going to keep us guessing as to who is going to be in the better spot. Now Darkpassage are back to next to no money, and they're going to give another round to GGWP because of it.
The problem is, on the CT side, at any point, win round, lose round, win round, lose, back and forth is appalling for the economy. It means you never get that big, round loss bonus. It's always being reset. You can never bring money over. It's a real issue. So for them, this is real dire times. They need to be very, very cautious as to how they go forward now, considering that GGWP are showing some real resilience on their T side. They've turned up to play now. The start of things was appalling. It was a really bad showing. Now, though, this is much, much better. Again, slow passive start, but look at this player's push already. Sasuke might be walking right into the eyes of MKG there.
Yeah, he was ready for him, but still the damage being done. Sasuke, one more peek. My lord, he actually gets the kill. Now that is going to put a little bit of pressure on GGWP. They have to peek a second into it, and they have to trade. Not worthwhile if you're GGWP, considering the amount of gear that these players have. But Sasuke didn't see the bomb. And he didn't see the player pick up the bomb as well. So no information there, really, except they're leaving a player back. Now, you can make your own conclusions of that, but really with two players now, it doesn't matter if Darkpassage know what GGWP have for breakfast. It's not going to win them the round.
No. And Mycox, 1v4. How big can you go? That about sounds
It's cold, Lauren. It's cold.
That's a line, Mitch. It's very warm in Cologne. All right. And probably on Mirage as well. I don't know where Mirage is set. But it doesn't look...
I don't know. Looks somewhere Middle Eastern.
Yeah,
Probably
I was about to say, so yeah,
the nights are
no
cold
excuses,
there.
Mitch. No excuses, all right?
Just trying to stand up for my Cox here, but all right.
Hopefully it can stand up for itself. But Asmo and Mycox working their way up middle, looking to deal great pieces of damage. And Sasuke's the one to lay it down first. Mycox yet to really get involved in this. MKG waiting patiently, and here comes the snap. Lovely shot from Mycox, just completely punishes MKG, but can he get the follow-up? No. Big Brads does it. And of course, we're seeing rounds getting closer when they only have pistols.
And that bomb actually hasn't been seen yet by Darkpassage, but it should. It should now just have been seen. So they know where the bomb is. This is good for Darkpassage. Very good. They managed to salvage an AWP and an AK, but they were caught with their pants down. They're in the changing room trying to decide how to accessorize. And Asmo, though, is still going to be able to turn down and pick up Refresh. That's Basso left now. The bomb, he knows it's there, but Darkpassage also should by rights know where it is, unless it was it tucked in that little cranny?
It should be in the little, yeah.
Oh, clever. All right. Maybe they don't. But still, 3v1, GGWP, it's not ideal.
No, it's not. They can assume it was probably by top mid somewhere. It's more now just onto Basso. Where do you want to take it? You've got 43 seconds. A full utility belt, so he can actually bring a lot into this round if he wants to. He can define some of these situations. But the problem being you still have Asmo here. He's going to try and fake the smoke. I think this can go to connector. You can jump and put it down towards CT. These sort of things. It goes incredibly far. And I think he's fluffed it, yeah. He completely whiffs it. There's a couple that do go far enough towards A. You can fake them really well. As saying, the big problem here is that they still had to... Don't read into it, guys. You know better than that. It's a completely whiff smoke. And there you go. Asmo is the man to just say no.
Well, I guess Basso had a full utility belt, but he wasn't Batman, and that smoke definitely wasn't convincing either. Although it seemed to work on Darkpassage. They wanted to go over and see where the source of that sound was, but they still managed to turn back around at the right time. So, a fantastic little force round for Darkpassage. I mean, they only went into pistols because they're trying to be frugal with their money at this stage of the game, but they get far more than they ever hoped to get. Still a buy-in for GGWP. A little bit rocky economically over the last few rounds for them, but still enough to give them the full kit and caboodle here. They still need to make it work for them.
Yeah, certainly. And it looks like a bit of mid-pressure is going to be put through. And you can see the two players on the back of connector. Mycox is going to be integral in this one. Has to be careful. And Mycox just gets caught out. A little bit out in the open there. He can't just be doing that sort of thing. You can't take fights once they already have that position in towards Delpan. So here comes the pop flash. Sasuke gets a bit of information, but has to be cautious again. There's still a split through Palace. If Refresh had played off the back of that could have been worse, but it's Brad's to claim it.
He just jumped in the mid... I know it's off screen, but he jumped in the mid-window and just smashed the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Rip. This round is pretty much over as well, let's be honest here. Unless something incredible comes out of one of these two players. It looks as though it's a bit of a sealed deal. Well,
I mean, Asmo now going to try and keep himself in this game, but to the credit of GGWP, they handled Mycox really well. They knew he was going to be sat on short. They got into Delpine and were able to shut him down. Utter mid-control. That's what allowed Brads to jump in towards mid-window. The man himself finishing off the round there as well with Woxic falling. So nicely played, meticulous as well. And GGWP, at least they're dotting their I's and crossing their T's after a round which they should not have lost. We do have the pause coming in for Darkpassage. Well, I mean, DP haven't just had money at all. Look at this. I mean, they could force this, or they could force around some weaker guns and just give people pistols, but it's not looking great for them.
So even when they're winning, the problem being is the fact that one, there was a bomb plant already, so that just made the money even better for the T's, and then, you know, these have been pretty robust wins as well, excluding that one. You know, 4 players still standing. They've only had, you know, what, 3. It's just been a bit shambolic for them. They've not had a good time at all. So Mitch, how's your not sure what that is? Can you read that?
I can't speak Arabic, no. I can't understand German. We're on the wrong map for that stuff.
Isn't this like... I remember someone translated all of them. It was like lemon and something, fresh something.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I know. Thrilling. I'm trying to find if there's any like Easter eggs in these. I can't remember.
Like,
like on Dust 2, there's loads of them where it's all like sauce is good and
goose and stuff.
Stupid
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, like the Islamic writing, yeah.
What else is there on Mirage? Let's have a little look around. What do we have on Mirage? I always like looking at the maps and just like having a look around here. Like this always reminds me of like a COD format. You know what I mean? Like why is there a little bus? Little bus. Is there anything? Nope, nothing inside the bus.
Why would you render the inside of that bus?
Look.
Well, to be fair,
Nuke.
they did render the cafe on
exactly.
And they actually just put a pile of crap in the corner, so
yes, they did.
Effort at least.
There's a little cold Zera thingy. How exciting.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, look at this little street. That could be Crossfire, you know what I mean?
Oh, it could be. The cars look the same, actually.
Yeah, they actually do. I don't know what it is. It generic Middle Eastern car? Is that what they go for? Like the design.
No, everyone just has Reliant Robins over there.
That's it. That's it. That's how it works. I really want to find like a little Easter egg or something. Why you not put them in?
This does feel like Crash sometimes as well.
Yeah, it does. It does a little.
Oh, hello. Oh. Fence there. Some trash bags.
Found my ability of casting.
I was going to go so I could almost see you there, but
also, have you ever seen this area? Right. I remember when I was sat here being a massive nerd, right? Because waiting for someone to push out outside the bomb.
Right.
I never really looked out here, you know. It's this nice little area. You got this nice little place out here. I've never looked out that side.
It's a nice little balcony.
Yeah, I never looked out there. It was just, you know, those weird things you just never look at because you just at no point you look at it.
But you know what? At the end of the day, if we're going to really appraise this location in terms of market value, we do need to know about the little nooks and crannies, the secret spots. Can you go out there? Nice.
Yeah.
Some bins. I like bins.
Nothing wrong with a bit of bins.
Yeah.
It's just practical.
It's all about location, you see. And, you know, all those special features that, you know, property doesn't normally have.
Did you ever watch Location?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, enjoyed that show.
Yeah.
It's great.
The palm tree's a bit of a lie there. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it's just like a fake, it's like the fake fruit, really. Same thing.
Oh, yes.
Have you ever seen someone with fake, have you ever seen someone with fake fruit, by the way?
What?
Like, people have fake fruit in bowls in houses.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't be asked to buy fruit. I don't eat it, but I need you to know that I'm looking after my vitamin intake.
This is my life.
Mate, it's plastic. I can see it. The grapes, you just sat on your table. You're trying to make it look like some sort of Roman, whatever they do, feast. I'm just going to lay down and drop these rubber grapes into my mouth. Like, why does plastic fruit even exist outside of the movies? And even in the movies,
Mitch, are you okay? You've gotten the full triggering about plastic fruit.
I hate plastic fruit. It makes
I'm gonna
no
buy you some
sense
for
at
your
all.
desk. I'm going to get you some.
I hate plastic fruit.
I'm going to get you something. You're going to love it. There's a nice little chair for us.
I like that. Some deck chairs.
No access, but we are back live. And it was probably a time I can imagine from Darkpassage to try and just mentally get themselves back in the right place here. Just trying to think of a way to approach this because they have been struggling to the extremes at this point to just deal with that mid-presence that GGWP have been bringing. And then obviously the fallback off the back of it. I think generally it's one of two approaches. Either you full-on challenge it with all players or you just completely negate it and you hold it right on the edges of the crossfire. That's as simple as it is, one of the two for me. And you apply pressure throughout the rest of the kind of pull points of the map, so through Palace, through B-halls, whichever you like. But at the moment, this is going to be one of those rounds you're just going to have to go through at this point as the CT team, because they don't have the armor to support it this time as they did prior.
And Calix will be ready to spring on whoever comes out from Palace there. He wouldn't have heard the two players in there yet. It's very unlikely. He's actually looking at the Tetris boost at the moment, or the jump. Brad's in mid, taking some shots with the AWP, just trying to rile up the natives, I guess, maybe just cause a distraction. He's not shooting at anything in particular. Calix is practicing his tracing.
Just really into stroking Tetris.
Yeah, this wood is really nice. Textured. Rustic. That's really all he's doing right now. He's just chilled.
Problem is he's starting to hit everyone, and there we go. He only gets one off the back of it. I was hoping for a little bit more of that. But Voxic, at least their support from Box 1A. Tech 9 going to deal with them easily. And this is actually a much more expensive round than it should be.
Yep.
If you're going to go for those default A's or, you know, a very big A hit or A presence, you shouldn't be losing out that many players. MKGB on 1 HP as well is pretty tricky. Bit of a problem. Nice flash. Not be able to surmount anything. So, GGWP now with a good advantage. 13-11. This could be a 3-mapper, Mitch. We could be here all night long.
Yeah. That's what a great way to come off the back of a break. I guess to be fair, we had a break. The
Yeah.
major was there. We didn't really do any CS.
No,
So.
you know, you've just been doing Overwatch.
Yeah, that's been pretty chilled, so I don't mind.
Yeah.
Don't mind. Anyway, we'll see what Darkpassage can do now, because they did save enough to, well, buy an AWP as well. Helmet's missing on some of them, but obviously that's not a big deal for CTs. And Calix, oh, he's not going to be ready for this at all. The flash is going to absolutely wreck him. Look at this, playing ahead of the smokes. Hello?
This is just cruelty, though. They've been pressuring mid the whole time. Now they go and try and use it. They try and work around it for Darkpassage, but look at it. Straight away, GGWP just switch things up, go for the big A hit, and now Darkpassage are locked out. They might even have to save at this point. I'm not even kidding. They've made no step towards the site. They have limited utility to play retake on. This is a very devastating way to lose this.
Yeah, can you even let this one go? That's the thing. It goes to 14-11 at this stage, you know, for those who can't count or add one to other numbers. But Brad is going to be in connector there. Actually gets taken down by Woxy. Good reaction from him. Probably a no-scope, if I'm honest. Bit of a flash bounced out there from the cutout. But KPZ not seeing anyone challenge him out. It's a 4v4. KPZ can cause so many problems from here as well. Just trade. Just trade. Trade all the way to the bank. That's fine. Now Mycox is the last man standing, goes down. And that's devastating for Darkpassage now. They took that long-ass pause to talk about what they were going to do, and it didn't work out for them at all. Now they're back to square one money-wise. I mean, yeah, forcing into some pistols here is all they can really manage. Buy it to 2,000 or so, and then just hope to keep this game alive when GGWP are 15-11.
Yeah, this is a horrible predicament. They're pretty much playing for overtime at this point. There's not much more to be said. And cash will be the decider if required. And what a tear GGWP have been on, pretty much. Mike Cox just not able to achieve anything at the moment. Again, he had a really good first half, but just seems to be just a
bit
little
fatigued.
Yeah, you know.
Stamina is an issue in this game.
For some. To be fair, this is a, you know, it's like a solid 40-minute game odd, so he's going for the long session.
Put some ice on it and go again. That's the thing. Literally get an ice pack, put it on the back of your neck if you are playing for long periods of time. But even if you're not feeling particularly hot, put ice on the back of your neck, it will wake you up quite well, keep you focused. There's also if you need to go to the toilet. If you need to go to the toilet, don't. If you need to go number one, don't do it. Just hold it in. And it keeps you, very much, it secretes a hormone that keeps you very active mentally. Seriously. I know a lot of old COD 4 players that used to not pee so that they could actually focus on the game properly. It keeps
Alex
you on edge.
plays better when he hasn't gone to the bathroom. There you go. But that aside, we are seeing the round going the way it should be. Hiding the gun there, nice stuff from MKG. I think it fell down in the end, but he tried it, which is the main point. Asmo tries to slide under, but it's a 1-for-1 trade out. Now Woxic will be able to pick up the rifle, but has no armor to do anything with it. So it actually might be more worthwhile just to keep hold of it at the end of the day, but I think he's going to try and do something. And, ooh, that's a great start. And now he's going to try and make a bit of a dash. Scared someone behind him. Goes back in again. And Basso's not far off here. Woxic's so cautious of it, but he turns away at the wrong time. And there's a shutout. GGWP make it to 15 rounds. They are on map point.
Yep. And we will be going to a third at this stage as well. 2 3-map affairs in the first night of these qualifiers. And, well, throw what I said about teams not being that balanced or close to each other skill-wise out the window, because this has definitely been a close series so far and will continue to be that way. And, yes, this is what that last round of save has gotten Darkpassage.
You can't hold this man back.
He's getting excited. That's fine. Let him set up in the mid there as well. It's only one player. It's not like Darkpassage is trying to stack 3 on a round like this one. So Brad's actually cautionary nading towards mid, going to chunk Mycox down to 76. But doesn't force him back though as well.
The biggest issue is there's players coming towards underpass. It means that Mycox could just be caught in the middle here, but he actually gets the perfect opportunity. Good stuff towards Basso. No one able to even respond to this. He's going to make a bit of a quick dash, try and get away scot-free, and he does. Mycox on the hit and run there. And now Brad's trying to just control mid-window. He at least does that now. The CT side do have the advantage, but GGWP have been working against this quite a few times.
Yeah, now they can think more about setting infrastructure up to have a successful B take if they want to smoke off connector, or they can just try and see what Refresh can do on this side. Refresh has had a sick second half.
You've seen
It's been really good.
Yeah, 100% saw Woxic there, but it doesn't matter. And now Woxic escapes somehow. What?
Breads gets taken down by Asmo, picked up, and now it's just KPZ in cutout, which has sort of been his spot the last few rounds. Pop flash and get nothing done there. Mycox finishes things off in the end. Slow to start, but gets it done. So 15-12 here. Yeah, stranger things have happened, I suppose. Darkpassage now maybe managing to execute what they were trying to figure out with that tack pause, although it would have been better before the last gun round. Can keep this one and potentially send it to overtime.
Yeah, they definitely could. And this is the straight place mid with the Eagles. These things work well, that's the thing. You can really pressure someone in mid-window. They know that GOCL on the right side now. He needs support from connector and short. Ideally, he's got Sasuke now from short doing a little bit of work, but you can hear him rattling off shots. And Brads is actually the one to find it towards Calyx. That's going to even cause further issue. Exactly, because it's on A. They now need to kind of spread themselves thinner.
Yeah, and we can see the mid-window's actually been given up, so MyCox goes over towards B and commits, and we actually see GGWP, who was the man in mid-window earlier on, goes to A. So they allow, I guess, a little bit more ingress through mid. I think Sasuke is the one sitting in connector, but MyCox gets a famous kill over on that B side. There was a player actually a little bit ahead for GGWP in apartments, got taken down, but he didn't have the bomb. That one is actually heading back through spawn care at Basso right now, so may well be the A hit in the end.
Yeah, and Sasuke has to be pretty imperative here. Needs to land the shot, and he gets the support from MyCox, which is what you need to see.
It's good.
And now here comes the play towards the site. Good work from him. And, well, Basso keeping it at least costly. Will be shot down by MyCox. MyCox, again, this is a good performance from him in that round. Pulling himself up by the socks. He kind of went a bit of a lull for a little while, but he's started to find a little bit of place here. 15 to 13. And boys and girls, we're back in the pause. Oh,
yep.
Yes.
I mean, with the potential of an overtime looming and GGWP down a map, I guess they can't really take any chances. So, all right, Mitch and Lauren's fantastic adventures continue now.
How'd you get up here? Like, Valve?
No, but it's funny, like some parts of the map that they render, some they don't. I mean, I guess it kind of needs to be there.
Why?
What do you mean, why? It looks nice.
Yeah, but you can't get there. There's no... You're going to scale the wall?
Yeah, you just literally just like a staircase there, and at least it looks more realistic. To be fair, like the reason why the houses in Middle Eastern countries are made like that is because people stand on the roof in the evening.
Yeah. My aunt lives in Dubai. She has a lovely rooftop. Yeah. Looks over it. It's really, really lovely.
And it's very characteristic to see those little wood planks poking out as well, like the way they do the framing. So
yeah, it's very nice. Very nice.
Some rugs here and there. You like rugs, Lauren, don't you?
Not as much as you, Mitch.
That's true. That is true.
Oh, it's a lovely coloured rug as well. Look at that. Nice pattern.
Looks very much what you have. And if you walk into like that discount rug warehouse that has a closing down sale every day of the year.
That's it.
They are always closing down, but never close down. Get yourself a rug at 70% off. Come on in and get yourself haggle with us. We don't care. We want to sell everything because we're shutting down. And then 2 years later, they're still going. It's still shutting down.
Okay, if you had to pick between a rug, would you go for the red or the kind of like black and gold?
No, see, the one on the left, I had a rug like that like when I was young. It was literally, I like this one better. It's just different.
This one?
Yeah, the other one is such a generic design. I literally had that in my freaking living room. It's probably still there.
Is there any other rugs? I've got a nice little bit of drapage here.
The rug hunt begins. That's drapage.
Does it
it's
ever
not quite
stop,
the
Mitch?
same. Oh, it depends who you ask.
There's a new one. We've got a nice like golden tan.
That's all right.
A little bit floral almost.
Everyone's hanging their rugs out today. It must be like a...
It's a good day for just drying your rugs. You know, look, we found another with a new design. It looks like a little scary face on it though. It's like...
Yeah, actually, to be fair, I've got to hand it to Valve. They're quite true to the designs I always see. That's a long rug, you see. That's like that's a lengthy rug. I like the aspect ratio on that, actually. It's quite nice. And maybe more for hallways.
Oh, that'd be a lovely hallway piece. That's true. Is there any others? A little cheeky peek around. I already saw that one. Up and over. Go about by A.
There's a palace of rugs in there.
Oh, that's a good point. I think does it have one on the floor? No rug on the floor.
Rugs. Pots. There's plenty of pots.
I love the little teapot
some
here,
potted plants. Yeah, see, that always interests me.
That's lovely.
It's like when the war came. It's like when, I guess, whatever fight came to this zone, people decided to brew a cup of tea first.
Yeah.
Give them some extra legs. There's a rug. That's the same rug. You're replicating rugs now. What the heck?
That one's the same as...
I've heard...
This one.
No two rugs should be the same.
That's disgusting.
No two rugs should be the same.
That's true. I can't believe that.
Thatched roof there as well. It's quite nice.
Where's that one?
On top of the palace there. A little bit of thatch. I like that. Oh, interesting.
A little bit of trim on that. Very nice. And a cheeky little...
paint pot.
Paint pot. But we are back into the game. And we will shut up talking about rugs. There's one in spawn. We found another.
Oh, there's a rug. That's the same. It's another replicator rug, though.
Yep,
Sorry,
it's nothing new.
It's when you're rug spotting, it needs to be new rug. Yeah. Fresh rug.
Fresh.
Sasuke has a taser, by the way.
Why not? Why not buy it? If you find any use for it, you might as well. Oh, guys, I wonder what's going to happen.
Sick round. Okay, so that means that the game is obviously about to finish, which means there's no overtime, which means Darkpassage may have won that round, but wait a minute. Does that mean... No. Okay, let's just see how it plays out. Darkpassage won that round. It all happened very, very quickly. Nice work to them. After that attack pause from GGWP, now they have to make this work with Tech9s.
Oh, but I believe in the Mitch. I don't know why, but I just got this feeling. I just think he's going to get overrun, you know? He's going to miss the first, get banged out on the second. The mid takes... I don't know, actually. It could go into overtime for all I know. If the server ends its cycle, I guess, of some variety, maybe that's what causes it. But actually, Asmo pushing up is going to make it easy. There's the whiff of the shot. Here comes the overrun. And what a shocker. It looks as though already GGWP are off to a great start.
What?
And my Cox just got snapped in half.
Oh, God, I just... Oh. 3 players left for GGWP. And they have an AWP in the hands of KPZ. This is nuts. They just completely aggressed on towards this side. Mycox didn't stand a chance there. Brilliant there. Yeah, brilliant stuff from Basso there. Unfortunately, it's not going to make a huge difference in the end of the day because KPZ with 1 point of health is making this happen. Man, if GGWP take this, be incredible. KPZ, all right, my friend, no dramas. Goes down eventually, but now Brand's in the 1v1 to win the game. The bomb is ticking. There isn't much time, and, well, we do see Calyx has to go for this one. He has to take the fight. There isn't enough time for him to mess around, and a pick gets it done at 16-14. Map 3 is going to be just around the corner. And by the very skin of their teeth, GGWP keep themselves in a absolutely Herculean effort from KPZ there in that last round with the AWP. 2 of those kills, I think, happened when he had 1 HP. Yeah,
that was absolutely sick. Again, maybe not so beautiful to watch when we had the timeout. It kind of becomes a little bit obvious, the little kind of skip, I guess, that happens because of GoTV. But yeah, GGWP, what a rebound. After the first half, or at least the start of the first half, that was so condemning. It looked so much like it's in the bag, no worries. Actually a great rebound from GGWP, so very hard fought for. Are you okay, mate? You seem a little teared up.
I'm devastated. They replicated the rugs. Why would... No, so it's just something in my eye. Anyway, so map 3 is going to be around the corner as well, guys, so don't go too far. Another break. Last map of the night, guaranteed 100%. We'll see you then.
listen to this. Bad boy. Come on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Go Champions League. Both best of threes tonight have gone the full distance. It is our 6th map of the night. It's going to be Cash, and it is, of course, between GGWP and Darkpassage, who started off so well, Lauren, so well on Mirage, and they let it slip.
Yeah, it did. It got off to a good start there, but as said, it did all fall apart, kind of fell to pieces by the end of it, and it has brought us to the 3rd map. That being Cash is the one that both teams have kind of, I guess, decided on. Maybe more favourable to one than the other. We'll find out as soon as the game is live. We can hop into that and have a look as to how it goes down. Already GGWP will be starting on the CT side. They won the knife. Darkpassage will be on the T side with 2 mollies, so an interesting start here from them. Looking to see what they go for here. Clearly a laid out plan in mind.
Slow and steady wins the race here for Darkpassage, no doubt about it. 2 players set up in Sunroom. The rest actually going back towards mid, so they might like to just wrap through there as well through vents. Refresh has spotted, I think, the players in mid, though. He's backed right away, and he's actually heading over towards B, just spamming in towards Checker. So he knows what's happening here. It just depends if GGWP can respond to it properly now. It's a trade, 1-for-1. Brads does go down, and now with 4 players going to be pouring onto this B side, and not much support here for MKG. He has to stay alive for as long as he can. He gets 1 kill. That's a perfect start for him, and the rest of Darkpassage are a little bit slow and moving up, and this is buying more time for Basso from top to get the damage done.
Yeah, this is going really well until just about now. They've finally broken through. The bomb plant can come in, and GOCL had to hold that push, which he does achieve perfectly. Now left into Basso's hands. 1v2. Can't get it done. Darkpassage off for a pretty good start there, but it was just those final 2 players. The plan seemed to work well in theory, but as you said, they weren't able to isolate MKG at the back of the site or pressure him and you know, take those fights more than 1v1, and he actually won those out quite substantially, picking up 2 kills in the first round. So they're going back in on a decent force up here. On the T side, though, 3 SMGs, a lot of utility. It looks like the A clear, basically. It looks like that's what their intended plan is.
Yep.
Just
3
go for
mollies.
that fight.
3 mollies for A, by the looks of things here. So that'll be enough to canvas this out. Let's see if Darkpassage can play something akin to what we did originally see from Ninjas in Pyjamas. And just hammer this one down. Look at Lauren. She got all the angles. All the angles. All right, so there you go. Nothing over the red container yet, but there we go. 1 back towards quad. That's not actually forcing. Yeah, it does force Basso out now as well into a flash. Not ideal for him. So he now has the huddle behind this. Let's see if the SMGs can cut them down. Basso gets 1, but there it is. GOCL with the double spray down. And Refresh has to back away. Tried to find something with the Deagle there as well, but a couple of shots just whiffing past. Now he's right pushed out of the sight.
Asmo? How did you kill yourself?
Oh,
well now Brads gets to... What?
With 1 shot.
What?
Okay, right, no worries. So Brad's managing to get 2 and then another one. That's ridiculous stuff from GGWP. There were 2 players on the site from Darkpassage, I think right in front of the site, ready to sort of play a 2v1 into anyone that was actually going to peek them.
I guess it was these guys, right?
Yeah. Get wrecked.
Get absolutely wrecked. That's what you get when you line
With
up.
a scout. Okay. You'd be mad about that. And
yeah,
I don't want to...
He got wrecked so hard he's left the server.
All right, Lauren, let's go find some things in this map. Let's go. Off we go.
All right, the one thing I like is the thing you don't notice, right? These 2 little buildings. All right, you start in T, you never really look behind you. And one day I got bored and I looked behind me, I saw these 2 little lovely houses. Well, they're not houses, they're clearly like electric boxes.
They're shacks, or I guess, or yes.
But look at this massive building as well. Like,
is that a car park? Oh, hello. You've gone too far, Lauren.
Oh, I'm in too deep.
They're not actually rented, I guess. They're just...
No, they're just like...
There's also a Ferris wheel to your right, I think.
Yeah, it's the... Is it the Chernobyl one?
I don't know.
It's, you know, from the COD 4 map. What's the COD 4 map?
Overgrown?
No, it wasn't Overgrown.
It was like the
block,
square.
isn't it? Is it
block? It's block, yeah, MP block.
Oh, block has it as well. Like I think it's any of these kind of like Russian-based maps always like have
a Ferris wheel, a decrepit Ferris wheel as well.
Yeah. And there's like the power station, so it would kind of play to being like a one of those style maps. So let's look elsewhere. What else do we have on this nice bit of construction?
Some stairs. I like some stairs. Yeah.
Exciting. We can look at Simple's new thing. Have a little look at that.
For those who haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. And there it is. Look at that. Isn't that nice?
Pretty sick.
Yeah,
the scope's falling off. That's
like
just great.
Yeah. What's out here? Because I don't really look out here too much. Not too much. Just a little truck and tree. There's Mitch's home.
Thank you.
Sorry. That's a washing.
Thank you. I do need to at least wash my clothes. All right.
Yeah, you keep yourself looking fresh.
Absolutely.
That's about it. That's about it for the for Cache.
For Cache.
Cache.
But at least we're back in game. The pause has been cancelled.
There either.
Lauren's going to have to come back down to earth. Yeah, that's it. And we're going to be going out with KPZ here as well. So GGWP, just a huge turnaround on Darkpassage in that last round. Maybe some luck involved there with that collateral kill, but you know, that's fine. 2 AKs for Darkpassage. This is going to wreck their economy here if GGWP can get rolling.
Yeah, and they're looking for these fights as well, and they're going to win them out. If you get things like the rifle into hand this early on, you just want to take those fights, and if you're playing in towards mid, you can't be just challenging those guys out. Simple as that, you're just going to get wrecked. And, well, looking at what's left, you're going to have KPZ towards the site, Basso as well, holding highway. It's going to be pretty tough for them to pull this one off. You know, the UMP can do work here, but if anyone flashes out, it's very hard to turn and get back in time without being checked. I'm not sure he's going to hear these steps, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you turn a flash here, it has to be 180 almost, or into the wall, so quite tricky. You can't just quickly turn 90 degrees and come on back, so that could be hard. Molly to come down. He may have heard some movement there as well. Essentially gives away your position as well. I don't know if they saw the trajectory of that grenade or not. That is Darkpassage, but they'll come through. Flash comes out there as well. KPZ couldn't even turn it, so let's just throw that discussion out the window. And now Basso has to hold on. Does. Sprays down. Bomb goes loose here as well. Doesn't get a second as Mycock's coming through to clean it up. And now it's a back and forth. It is a seesaw. Both these teams are going to have just bizarre economies after this round, no matter what happens. And now MKG and Refresh are the last two standing. One down, one to go. Refresh keeping it nice and fresh as he pushes across, but it will be Mycock to shut him down. So great, 2-1. Yeah, look at the money. It just makes no sense really to look at.
Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Odd start to the game. But Darkpassage now looking to try and shut down GGWP, of course, with players like MKG with a decent amount of bank there as well. It's just a one round. They're going to have to wait before they can buy up. Even could get an AWP if things go well here. We'll see. Double boost into mid. And spray down over towards Sugar Cube.
Needs to check close, but the smoke actually works out really well for KPZ then. From the higher position, it's very hard to see him. 6 shot there towards Woxic. That's what you want to be seeing. That's a nice P250 play, but it's hard to imagine any more coming from it. But KPZ reading the gameplay well here, knowing they're going to go for that B hit. But again, you can only go so far. You can only get the drop on so many people. It's very rare you're going to be able to exploit more than that. So Refresh now in the 1v3. He's already been spotted out by Sasuke as well. That's a bit of an issue. So now we're going to try and find an angle or a gun he can recover or something. There's very little around here.
Calyx died. I thought he died in mid or at least up on boost because that's where he went early on.
Yeah, I think so.
May have removed his gun from the site though.
It might not just not fallen over. That's the thing. It might if it was on boost. That's.
No, maybe he died here in mid. I'm not even sure.
Nope. So yeah,
okay.
Both guns are up there.
That's rough.
Oh, can he do the jump? Can he do the jump? Oh. You can jump from there to there to there, I think. I'm not too sure how it goes, but you can jump all the way across it. And that's what he's desperately trying to do. He's doing the hard part, or at least what I find the hard part, but... Oh, what a sick player. Yes, Refresh.
So, gets himself AK there as well. A little bit of mountain climbing will get it done. And a couple of rifles coming out for GGWP as well. MKG can buy one. Basso forced to go for the Famous, but still reasonably well bought up side here. Darkpassage with some good T rounds. They aren't looking that great until they buy late. Okay, all is well then. I was wondering where the guns were going to come in, but they do have full AKs here. No AWP dabbling as of yet. Happy enough. And this has been quite Darkpassage-esque, actually. They're more than happy. They've got very capable AWP players in Woxic and Calyx, but more often than not, we're seeing them just go for AKs here, brute force in. I mean, they're not doing it to shut down AWPs because, well, GGWP don't have any, and they shouldn't be expected to have any at this stage. So they're just more than happy to play with rifles for all and sundry.
So KPZ is fully focused towards boost there, and it actually does work out really nicely. He's looking to see if anyone else followed up on that. No one else was there, but it does allow the likes of Refresh also to pull himself up a little bit as well. Sasuke gets caught out. I'm not even sure how he managed that, but Mycock's now left in a world of trouble. He's not able to really achieve much through mid unless he wants to walk out through the smoke, and they have no step towards any sites. Asmo's trying to tender towards B, but there's still the player in the vent, there's still one on site, and there's also someone positioning in CT. So this could be very tricky for them because it's an even take towards a site, essentially. The trades aren't going to be perfect unless they kind of get like a 2-for-1 coming through straight away. So again, going to be hard here. Asmo needs to check the deeper side of vent as well, and he's not done it. There's the punish coming out for it, and look at the others now. They've been shredded up too. You can't cross to the side like that, and Calyx would have to go to like some superhuman level to do anything there.
So back and forth here. Obviously, Darkpassage won themselves 2 rounds in a row, enables them to buy a little bit here. And GGWP as well, still just trying to keep and save as much money as they possibly can here. So Refresh, yeah, he had an M4. That's fine. So again, a similar buy for GGWP again this time. There's a Famous in there for Basso, worked out well last time. Mycock is forced to use nothing but the Tech 9 here as well.
This is an interesting start. It looks like just an A play from Darkpassage, but They have a lot of, well, they don't have a lot of smokes, tell a lie. They have 3 smokes, but they're playing incredibly close to the point. So they have a lot of players by Squeaky. They're going to put out 1 smoke towards Truck. Molly comes in, and yeah, this is just not going to go too well here. They don't really have much of a fight towards it. The thing is that Sasuke is the only one to break out so far. And now 4v4, they've got a chance. They've got a good step towards the side. But the problem is there's still a player by Quad, and they didn't check for Basso. Now he's got the perfect drop on them. He can cause so much trouble. Buy time for the rotate. KPZ gets there, and he takes the swing out, wins the fight, and hell, he just wants more now.
That is no man's land. Right out in front of A main, there is not where Darkpassage wanted to be caught there, but the Molotovs that were thrown down, I reckon did at least 170 damage in total there. Didn't kill anyone, but 3 or 4 players got taken exceedingly low from the damage from that. So really nice by GGWP. Set up well that Basso could actually just take his time and decide when he peaked out. And he's going to be able to upgrade to an AK now as well after making that Famous do work.
Yeah, Darkpassage money is now rubbish. P250s, and that's about all you lot. A bomb plant would be brilliant, but pretty tough when already Sasuke.
Oh my.
Down to 3, that sucks.
Almost, yeah. Well, obviously you can die to it Nate's full, but that's just not ideal for Sasuke. So he needs to now take a back seat to this, try and play in a corner or Goblin. Smoke's still up in mid at this stage, and there's no utility for Darkpassage. None of it. They go the full save here, respecting the fact that GGWP have started to be able to cobble together some money, give them some rolling buys here as KPZ goes up towards Rafters. May have spotted the player in towards long there. It doesn't really indicate it.
Yeah, and these counter flashes are very well timed. It's going to put KPZ in a bit of trouble because he's out in, again, no man's land, and actually they lose out on the player in quad. That's a bit of a problem. Mycox finding Basso. That was meant to be the fallback plan, but the bomb gets dropped. It's Brad's coming in again. Mycox just not able to withstand, and there you go. MKG to come around, and as soon as the bomb was the last to go in, you saw the issue arise that the cross was just not smoked up. They could easily do the work off that.
Yeah, these are still costly rounds, though, even for a team that is bought up far better. I mean, their equipment value far eclipsed Darkpassages in that last round. They still lost a couple of players, so we're definitely not seeing the cleanest of anti-eco rounds tonight.
None.
And but GGWP now are going to buy into the AWP, which I think is pretty frightening on a map like this. Brads will be holding one of them, refresh the other on B. Fancied an early peek towards main, but didn't actually go from this angle originally. Might have been a slower spawn for him, I didn't quite see.
Brad's already switching up as well, going straight towards A main. He actually might push this as well. He's going to put himself towards the barrel, so he can hold this for an extended period of time, unless Mycox decides he doesn't want that to happen. Good shoulder peek, actually. Not sure if he spotted out Brad's, because that smoke was just dissipating. But I imagine he'd probably look towards it. If he's already shoulder peeking it, you can imagine he's trying to check that. Brad's getting a little bit cautious in case someone already pushed up towards the closer box there by taking a wider swing to it. But he now needs to hold this perfectly. It's quite tough. If 2 people face, you probably won't escape. But already it's going to force maybe Darkpassage to reconsider things here and try towards B. But then again, Refresh hasn't shown that he has the AWP yet either.
No early peaks because there was a smoke that sort of prevented him from doing it. And his position, I think he just jumped down from heaven actually and just tried to scope in. Didn't see a lot. Slow roll for Darkpassage. Still plenty of utility. Now it's starting to come out though. Yeah,
double smoke mid. So trying to allow for a B split. This is what they're going to go for, a B split here. But as said, there's a lot of players on the site. Refresh is one of them.
KPZ sprayed down through the smoke mid and caught Mycox. So this split now gets a lot weaker from here on out. And oh my lord, Darkpassage is falling apart here. MKG doesn't have to do much because Basso and Refresh did all the work for him. Not good. That's a gun round for Darkpassage. Completely crushed.
When you're Darkpassage and you play that passively, it's perfectly fine to go for that mid split. There's no, I actually really like doing the double smokes mid and trying to split towards B. I think that's a really nice idea. But the thing is that GGWP had so much utility. There were counter flashes galore. There was no pressure really towards the site. So again, it just allows so much room for play from the CT side. They don't have to feel any sort of strain. So the double stack towards B this time from the CT side, just right on the side itself, might even boost this. Yeah, they are. So KPZ are going to be up above, and he can just wiggle his way around. This gives him a great... Oh, he just dropped off. No. No, slippery head coming in, and now they are in trouble.
No doubt about it. KPZ can't get up there as well. No chance for him. He drops down, and MKG did get a kill, but still was shut down. So Refresh, a lot on his shoulders right now, and obviously Darkpassage are going to make themselves rather scarce on that site now, trying to get a plant on B. He goes down before Basso or Brads can come and reinforce him. That's not good. And now with only 2 players left, there still are rifles in the hands of Darkpassage. They can play the long game. That's fine by them. And Basso tries to go in, only gets himself 1, and this game continues to swing back and forth. It makes no sense sometimes, but Darkpassage keep themselves a round away from GGWP.
The problem being that That boost on B just was awfully timed. If they'd actually been up there when the push came in, they'd probably have won that round. The fact that he just kept slipping off probably didn't help, being very real here. That's given Darkpassage a bit of an opportunity now to start working it. But again, if you're winning rounds from the opponent making errors, it's not ideal. It doesn't mean it's consistent. Hence why these rounds are back and forth. It's quite tricky for them to kind of string it together here. Again, though, look at Brads. He's so desperate to get this information, this pick, and he whiffs it. He just overstepped pretty much. Going to go for the quick smoke towards A main. Hope that hinders them, hampers them. But no, they're going to try and make a quick play. Nice recovery from Brads. That's Calyx down. Now he can fall back to the site.
Yeah, Brads was clever to quickly check towards Squeaky. That should be kind of on every AWPer's checklist if you do pick A main unsuccessfully. Gets away with it now and is actually able to stay alive behind that site. And now Darkpassage look like they're going to lose around here. They've got 2 players and they're both stuck in A main. The bomb is loose out in front. Now, KPZ knows Sasuke's there. He just waits for the timing, but Sasuke somehow wins the duel, down to 40 health. A player in, oh my lord, really, a player in MBK will also fall. Sasuke now checks Rafters. It's actually a player at Toxic, and MKG manages to at least confuse Sasuke for long enough to pick him up.
And speaking of Toxic, Woxic is your one man left alive here, 1v2. Brad's position not noted. It's MKG, he knows roughly where he is. And he's walking right in towards Brad's. Oh my word, this is unbearable to watch. Woxic is not turning around. He's look at the fear.
Gave it away.
You can see the mouse just quivering in his hands. Now Brad's has got to be prepared for this. I'm not sure if he's going to expect the peek up and above, but the bomb's still with Woxic. 25 seconds. He has to make the play here.
Woxic will come forward. And Brad's managed to get him as well. He had no health left and he fluffed the shot. He gave his position away at quad. He was an AWPer. He only had 1 chance and somehow gets gifted a second. And GGWP on the very brink of losing that round after being in such a dominant position. Bring it back. It's 6-4. Now starting to break that economy of Darkpassage right on down. But they themselves have to buy into double UMPs and a FAMAS because no one has a time to save money.
Yeah, the thing is for the CT side, it's all good and well going back and forth if you want a nice close get. Oh, Brads, what is that for a shot? What are you doing? Just walking into...
What are you doing?
Oh, don't even start. It's tilting me.
Yeah.
But... I don't know if you guys heard that. That is a chair just squeaking away under Mitch. Bless it.
On my bulk.
The weight of the world on its shoulders. And the boost towards mid to come out. They still have that AWP, which is ridiculous that it even came into their hands now. Oh, refresh. You don't know what you're walking into. Well, he does now. At least he's got a good bit of info on the back of that. But still, this is a real treacherous round. And as saying, the economy is going to be awful for the CTs going backward and forward. And now it's going to be even worse if Calyx makes it even more painful. There we go, refresh. Go on the cleanup. There's 3. No 4th to be seen. Sasuke with a good fight coming out, but MKG and Basso now your last 2 alive.
This should not be happening at all, Lauren.
No, it's making me really sad, Mitch.
We have a Mach 10 and a Tech 9 left now up against 2 UMPs, so definitely a chance here for Darkpassage. Now, Sasuke has the armor, but bear in mind that UMPs, I think, have the highest penetration value of SMGs in general. So,
correct.
Still not really going to help them too much, but the AWP for Asmo is big. Now, if they can actually keep GGWP at arm's length, get long peeks in, they might be laughing here, but still, over in towards mid, Sasuke will check A main. So splitting a little bit from Asmo, who's hoping desperately to see someone peek their head in now. They might try on towards this A site, and Basso knows he has to hold a closer angle. That's why NBK is kind of the logical decision for him now. Heads into Squeaky, but maybe they heard the door go. Basso gets wrecked. I don't know what he was aiming at there. Somewhere up in the air. And now MKG has to try and pressure in from highway, but there's an AWPer up on that A site. Now that Asmo's finished planting the bomb, he can hold this long angle. I don't know how we got here, but here we are.
MKG, if you're feeling how I feel, buddy, this ain't a fun retake, is it? All right, it's starting to look a little bit better, I guess. Does have a kit too. You've got to predict here. You've got to predict this. You can hop up and over on towards the top of that if you get the jump right. Oh, we didn't see Asmo.
Oh,
Asmo,
that's brilliant.
Don't mess this up, Asmo. Oh, Asmo, no!
You know, GGWP were just in a completely reversed situation of what we saw 2 rounds ago. When there was a clutch where Brads had the AWP, managed to hit that shot.
Yeah.
Somehow, GGWP managed to turn that same situation, but obviously be on different sides of the coin, into round wins both times. And still, they can't make serious money because they keep losing guns. They keep getting dropped. Obviously, those UMPs last round now can be converted at least into an AWP for MKG and a marginal upgrade to a FAMAS for Basso, but it's still not great. And Darkpassage, conversely, after obviously going into that one, saving a little bit, can buy 4 AKs in an AWP.
Brads. Brave or stupid? This is the thing. Mycox loves to punish this sort of play. And backs away from it. Nice little recovery smoke came out in the end from Basso there, just to supplement that play towards main, allowing some escape. But it's a bit of a default from Darkpassage, but they've taken so much damage already, it's going to be tough for them to finally make that play towards the site.
A little bit happening in mid now, as well as a couple of players from GGWP wanting to get the counter boost up. Refresh knows there's people there. In fact, he actually managed to damage Mycox a bit with a Molotov he threw over initially. So he's taking his time and hoping for some sound from main, but everyone's crab walking. So he's probably looking towards the truck and hoping no one's going to peek him, or maybe expecting someone to push over that boost. The first little exchanges in this round have gone vastly in favour of GGWP, and it's a wounded side of Darkpassage now who are setting up in A main for a bit of an execute. They have the utility. Plenty of Molotovs. Last time I saw them try this execute, though, it didn't work out at all.
Oh, refresh.
He's done it. He's going to go from the backside as well now. Just taking his time. No one knows he's there. Still don't. Sasuke's flashing. Oh, don't knife him, please. Oh, he's going to get the guy in front of him. Perfect stuff there. Manages to get himself two. And it is just Asmo. And he is not happy.
No. Poor little Asmo. And he's been spotted. It's like, if anything could go worse, well, at least I've been seen now. And now you got Brad's just holding MBK. I was actually close to Squeaky, excuse me. But yeah. Poor guy. Brad's was in a good spot, though. He was actually willing to flash in, I think it was Basso, maybe? I'm not too sure which way around it was. But yeah, they were playing the A site anyway. And then Refresh just being, you know, the icing on the cake more than anything to come around the back, spot them all out, get the real secure in the info. Like, guys, bombs here.
He was very patient, to be fair.
Yeah, he really was. Until they actually got the word of, yeah, it's a hit, he did not commit, which is really nice to see. But it looks like a fast plate on the Tech 9. It's going to try and come in. Nice flash there from Asmo. Trying to punish it, but overextends. It allows Refresh to do the work. And he's still on the site, actually, still alive.
And that bomb's dropped in front of the B site now as well, so Refresh can take his time. It was only MKG that fell. I think he was the caught out player. And you expect him to fall, I guess. You saw him scuttling back across the site to safety now. Sasuke is up against 3 Molotov. Yes, that's on you, my friend. No, it's not a dream. No, it's not a nightmare. This is how it is now, trying to push out. And KPZ will finish him with a headshot. So 9-4. And Darkpassage can buy again. Very unconvincing, well, rather unconvincing eco, I feel, or save from them.
The initial work wasn't bad. It was just then, it felt like that's all they planned for. There was like no more to follow it up with. That was sadly about all they had in the tank. So we go back in, 9-4. KPZ makes it through mid again. There is a boost. No, Sasuke's actually underneath. He's around the other side. So not yet to commit either. That's perfectly fine. And a later boost. Not you know, particularly. He's seen the gun barrel too. Oh, Refresh. Just caught with his pants down. Asmo finds MKG too. This suddenly means that there's such an advantage for the T side with such little commitment given. They should be able to work it out.
I don't know why MKG was so far pushed out on B side. He's actually the only guy there. Basso was poking mid door. And MKG was the only guy on B. Decides to push B halls regardless there as well. So that may have cost him a little bit now, as he's just going to have to try and pop flash himself into a situation where he can get one, God forbid, 2 kills now. But he's gotten 1. And that's all he can get for now. He's at least made it a 1v2 for Brad. So doable, but definitely difficult now as well, as Brad's doesn't really have the smoke to get himself in, but a Molotov could be quite helpful here.
All right, Brad's 1v2. It's possible. Mycox on the site. Woxic trying to watch the cross. He's going to try and take the step towards headshot, try and check CT, possibly en route.
I like this pathing, that's fine.
Yeah. It's as safe as you're going to get, but he just completely ignores the factor of sight, assuming maybe someone's going to step out there on him, but not the case. Now, 9-5. It's a good scoreline to start off with for GGWP, let's be very honest here. After the start, it was a little bit rocky. You were starting to think, okay, Darkpassage, you know, it's looking like before. I'm not going to read into it too much because of, you know, the end of Mirage, etc. But yeah, already GGWP starting to stabilize far greater than Darkpassage has been able to. And their T-side has been a little bit lackluster, if I'm honest.
Yeah, GGWP has won 2 groups of sort of 4 rounds in a row this half, only sort of split up by 1. So they reset Darkpassage. Dark smackage. That's exactly what Brad's suffering there. Gets knocked on down, and it's just going to be Basso and Refresh here as well. So Darkpassage can at least get themselves 6 in this half, which is respectable given how difficult it's clearly been for them to actually put rounds together consecutively.
And well, Refresh. Wrong site, wrong time. This should be Darkpassage at least ending the half on a little bit of a silver lining. But then again, GGWP, oh God, I can't even talk.
GGWP, see?
I hate it. I hate it. English is stupid. Silly language. Yeah, at the end of the day, Darkpassage can bounce back from this. It's a decent enough T-side. GGWP got their side of choice, of course. So again, this is more than possible, but Let's see, it's not over yet. Although Sasuke's position is such a dirty one, it's so annoying to play against, and well, just present yourself to them, Refresh.
Okay. 6 rounds for Darkpassage there on the T side. Not too shabby at all. It was not a great start for them. You saw those sprees that GGWP managed to win round-wise. Yeah, I'm struggling now. It's contagious.
Yeah, well, welcome to the struggle bus.
My lord. Anyway, score-wise as well, no real high flies here. You know, especially on the side of Darkpassage, everyone is just sort of plugging along, doing their thing, and same with GGWP. And I guess it follows. These rounds have been fairly close, often maybe 2, maybe 3 people surviving on a winning team here, even in like anti-eco situations, which has been the strangest thing. But to be fair, Cache is a map that will allow eco teams more opportunities to get up close and personal and actually sneak those kills. But to be fair, sometimes they've just ran at GGWP and won those eco rounds as well.
They're going to hear these steps. Oh my god, Calyx.
Yep.
2 back-to-back, and they know there's people in towards Squeaky, but Refresh just bounces in. That's so dumb. As if you can do that, CSGO. Now 3v3. Okay, we've got the bomb plant and some actually decent after-plant positions from GGWP.
It sucks for Calyx, who started this round up so nicely for Darkpassage, and now he needs to rely on his teammates to get it done. Basso, though, might have other ideas here. Refresh goes down to Aspo, and Basso is struggling to connect with a Glock.
Hit the shot,
he
Basso!
He is still healthy, though. That's the main thing. Now he swaps for a little bit more of an accurate weapon, but only 6 bullets left in it. That was all that was remaining, and it's going to be enough. Now, the 1v1. Bomb needs to be defused here. Woxic knows that he's standing on the side. No, the headshots come in! Basso takes him out. That's terrible for Darkpassage. GGWP take the pistol in the second half and go 10-6. That is definitely tack pause material.
You mean tilt pause material?
Well, it's probably the same thing at this stage in the Darkpassage anyway. Calyx is like, bros, come on.
I just don't understand. Basso couldn't hit a barn door and then still
picked up a USP, then hit the shot. Yeah, well.
Right. Logic is sweet. 10-6. Oh, Calyx, I feel for you, man. Like, he's been having a rough game anyway. That was probably like the first time he's actually spoken on TeamSpeak. Because, like, you know, he's been that quiet guy, just being, you know, I don't want to say anything. After that, he was like, guys, what are you doing? Why? What the hell just happened? But now GGWP, straight back on the rifles. Look at this, of course, why not? And on the opposing side, Darkpassage having to operate on such a huge deficit of weaponry. The boost towards T-Red going to be coming out just in case there was that mid-stack, mid-rush to try and get those guns away. Not going to be the case. Darkpassage sitting back and seeing what GGWP will bring to them.
And reasonable enough to do this as well. Maybe expecting GGWP to go a little bit too far forward and find something, but the same can be said of the T's here as well. If you look where Refresh is sat, well and truly back, so is Brad. So they're actually themselves looking out for any potential aggression from Darkpassage, but that doesn't seem to be the plan. Maybe they're trying to work a little bit around the information that Woxic can give to them, and also whether they can get any picks with that scout in mid. So it's going to be a slow one. Unfortunately, ultimately, for GGWP, as much as they'd like to sit on their laurels, they're going to have to pick a site and commit to it eventually.
Looks like I'm going to go for the mid-take. Perfectly fine approach.
Yep. Just a scout player there as well. Woxic already been tagged and spotted out.
Exactly. It's just keeping them at range pretty much is the main game here. Just, you know, try and keep them as far away as possible. And Brad's just giving us a masterclass in movement. Look at this guy. I thought he was going to go for the jump around. They're going to try and face together with MKG so they can both kind of ensure that they trade out effectively. However, that smoke actually isolated Brad's a little, so he became a little bit more vulnerable towards Woxic. But still, they've got the mid presence, but there's a double stack here to a degree. They have them very close by. This could be tricky. And actually, Mycox is the one to get the job done. Oh,
that's almost cash for you there as well. Those pistols very deadly in close quarters. Now, Woxic, there will be smoke up to prevent anyone coming from hell to help him out, but that's a great shot on towards Brad's. Didn't need to hit the head. He was already low enough from the damage dealt to him earlier on. Now, Woxic needs to start hitting these real good. Calyx gets onto Refresh there with the deagle. And this game defies all logic.
It makes my brain hurt, Mitch.
Darkpassage get themselves around back here after... Again, this has happened in those first 3 rounds. Teams are losing rounds they should not win. They should not lose. There we go.
See, the thing is that, for me, I don't mind the mid-takes with rifles. I don't mind playing towards A, but you go towards B. It's a site that favors pistols to a degree, right? It's a site that allows you to hold those close angles to make it more tricky, to make it a little bit more difficult. And now the team on the pistols is going towards it as well. But we'll see. We'll see if GWP get punished again. They do have a UMP against them here. But the Deagle will stay true. Mycox is the one to get caught out there, but now left into the 3v4. The retake's going to be a little bit harder than maybe they'd hope. They do have a bit of utility to play with here for the CT side. Good tag from WOCSIC. That could be a nade coming through. That should do the work. It actually hits the corner of the box, so it doesn't actually do the full damage, but he will take down the planter, but not before the bomb is planted.
Well, at least a plant for GGWP here as well, but a chance to get more. Brad's exposing himself to a very long angle there, and WOCSIC won't get the kill on KPZ, but he'll definitely have his gun. And Darkpassage get another one here as well. Starting to stabilize as well. It's still a tenuous position at best, especially with GGWP starting off the half the way that they did. But 2 rounds out of 3 in the second half, can't really complain about if you're Darkpassage.
No, but they always tend to get off to good starts. That's the thing, Mitch, I know.
Just...
I know. The things that get your hopes up.
Neither team wants to win the game, Lauren.
Why do they not want to win?
You know, somehow, obviously it's not the case, but sometimes it feels that way. But these Darkpassage now as well are doing showing us what should happen, I guess, on an anti-eco round and shutting down these pistols at longer range. WOCSIC with 1, Mycox with 1 as well. Just forcing GGWP to come to them. Brads gets a nice deagle shot on towards Mycox. It may not amount to much here, it really depends. That gun of Mycox's is not within recoverable territory here for GGWP yet as well, so they need to let it go. Switch with WOCSIC. Keeping guard, actually, WOCSIC gets the shot in towards mid now as well. He might have a couple more things to shoot at. As that shot doesn't stop GGWP from wanting to try and use mid. You can see WOCSIC's gone bounding off towards the right there. I think Sasuke, though, is on highway. Got to be careful about peeking this one as well. He's got 2 players to deal with here. He gets MKG and then he comes out and gets a second. So pretty clean round, despite that deagle randomness on towards Mycox. But I guess that is CSGO for you sometimes. That is the deagle.
Yeah, exactly that. 10-9 now, as you said. Looking at the scoreboard. And again, no real massive individual, huge plays. Obviously, WOCSIC's playing pretty well, but everyone else just kind of really just pulling, their weight. Just really mediocre across the board. As harsh as that sounds, it doesn't mean to be, but a bit of a mid boost coming into play. They're going to be fended off because the molly goes down. Actually, a little bit of a whiff on the molly there. Does allow MKG a bit of a peek through, so looks like Mycox might be challenged out this time.
Basso here in A main. Calix, a little bit of a variation on some of the spots we were seeing earlier on from Zello. Obviously, I love that spot. We see Nico use that one. Remember that clip where he just jumps down and dumps as the guy? Yeah, it was great. Good times. Anyway, so Calix will at least be able to know exactly what's happening underneath him and also can peek briefly into A main. Probably worth mentioning, both teams brought up at this stage, so potential for Darkpassage to continue their run here, but GGWP definitely have other ideas. Now, this buy has obviously put them in the hole economically, so even if they win the round, they really don't want to lose too many people here. It's kind of hard, so it's unlikely if GGWP win the round, they'll really be able to solidify economically just yet. But there goes Asmo. And WOCSIC in a good spot to use the AWP, but missing that first shot's not ideal. Gives away his position now. People are going to be peeking him from every different angle, but Mycox, great support there as well. Yeah, WOCSIC has to go for the Tech 9. He gets completely shut down. He loses his nerve in a very important moment, and now Calix is going to have to try for something. Fortunately enough, Darkpassage aren't going to be broke after this round, enough to make a reasonable buy, with the exception of Sasuke. But still, Calix is committed to going for this one, despite going up against 3 bought-in opponents. I mean, there's an argument for leaving this as well, but he's not interested in hearing it.
The thing being, and I really like Asmo. I think he's one of the nicer guys you could ever talk to at events. Him pushing that round was pretty needless. I know he wanted late-game information, but he already had the AWP on the site with him. He didn't need additional reason to have help. He was fine there. Him pushing out made that site a possibility. It made, WOCSIC completely vulnerable. You saw him panicking like a madman on the side. He had no chance to get into that. So again, Asmo, you've got to be patient on this. If you're not winning out those fights, look at his money now. It's 3.4. As is Sasuke. Their money's so low here. This isn't good. They could scrape something together. They can spread the wealth out. Of course, the drop can go towards Sasuke if they need it. They'll be fine. But it's still not good enough that you can get the full utility you need. It's a little lackluster.
Yeah, I mean, but this is definitely where you need to be forcing as Darkpassage as well. With GGWP able to take away, an eco round as well, that puts him a heck of a long way forward there. Yeah, Brads, I think, was caught up on boost by that Molotov being laid down. He got a hole of it, so I don't know how he didn't escape that one.
Oh, there he was. Okay. Okie dokie. Sorry about the observing. It's kind of going downhill the more tired I get. Apologies again. This is me observing. It's not brilliant. I do apologize. We're doing what we can.
Yep. For a 6-map affair over 2 best-of-3s doesn't always happen, as you can imagine, so we are hanging in there for you guys. Oh, there it is. Refresh picks up Asmo there as well. That's a nice little opening from Risha. What? What did I just say? What did I just say? Refresh was in mid pushing, and he got the kill. Well, what was it? Wasn't even English. I'm struggling today, Lauren. I really am.
Take a seat, mate. It's all right. All right. 11-9 as said. This is 4v3. The T side does have the advantage in the fact that they can push one of these sites and have the players of any number in their favor. Problem being, you've still got an AWP. You've still got an AWP and a flash, right? Where do you go if you're GGWP here? They're looking for any chances. They want to get even more. They're greedy. They want to get even a better chance towards one of these sides. They've pulled players away. Look at that. They've caused Sasuke to get a little bit nervous, to go, maybe.
And there's actually 2 players at B as well. So
Exactly.
Sasuke chose that site to reinforce. That puts Calix in a 1v3, and it hasn't been a great game for him already. 1v4, sorry. It hasn't been a great game for him already. So this is about to get just a little bit nastier. Trying to go for some cute peeks, but he was completely overwhelmed. And Woxic and Sasuke, justifiably, should sit on these guns.
Yep.
They force this round. They don't want to let too many more fall by the wayside.
Yeah, and you can see already a bit of a hunt coming in for Refresh here as well. He's in connector. He could get shut out by the... Oh, you don't miss those shots, Woxic. Refresh now on the hunt. He knows where that AWP is. You can see them even closing on the other side of the map as well. But in the back by spawn is Sasuke waiting ever so patiently. So protecting his teammate more than anything at this point. And it's not an easy one for them to just kind of weather the storm through. They will be actively looked at as to where they are. But the problem being, let's talk about the position that's being played over by MBK. You can sit actively watching the push towards A, but he wasn't. He was sitting, Calix was pretty much sitting further into it, so he was trying to play safe, play for time, and at the end of the day, if you're going to be playing these spots, you can hold this angle, right? You can hold it enough that you can see the push out. He was sat all the way in the corner, so much so that he was having to jiggle peek out to it.
You have to react as well, you get no info.
Which is a bit of an issue at that point for me, at least. I feel that he could have maybe held that a little bit better, and I just want to hear the Bison. Bison? Even though it's not a French gun, I feel it should be, with a name like that. If you've heard the update, it is like a paintball gun now. It sounds exactly like it, and I'm glad we get to see it. It's a useless gun by all aspects, but it's what... Oh, I hope that wasn't a jumping shot. I almost just vomited a little in my mouth then if that was the case. But by all accounts of any other SMG, it should never be picked, essentially.
Why? I mean, UMPs we've seen a lot more popular here, even like an MP7.
Yep.
Don't know, Lauren. You let it go. Woxic goes for a pick there on A main, doesn't actually find a shot there, and there's a couple players from GGWP over on the A side, but now they are all swinging through. So if Woxic thinks this is a chance to save his gun, he's probably wrong. There's a good chance that someone from GGWP will come back through highway and try and take it off him. So this is clever by him as well, absconding as soon as he realized the bomb is heading elsewhere.
Yep.
Even so, KPZ will know where he is pretty quickly because they've got players in mid, players in towards the CT spawn. It's only logical that he'll now just have to pressure on towards this squeaky corridor.
He knows it. No.
Done, missed it.
No,
oh, the
Bison.
Bison.
I'm not even used to saying Bison. I'm like, the UMP.
Bison?
No.
Yeah, Bison.
Bison.
Actually, I think the UMP sounds more like a paintball gun than the Bison does.
No, I think the Bison's higher pitch. That's the point. It's like, I don't know if they're trying to like show the caliber of the weapon, as in trying to signify that it does do better against armor. I don't know. I don't know, Valve. Valve things.
They did that in Water Tanks. They got the big guns to go doosh. So that works. That's just a thing.
It's a thing. All right, back into the game. Double up on the T side here. GGWP coming back into it. MKG and Brads. Big Brads.
On the Brads.
You can't get past it, you know what I mean? Just call yourself Brads. Phew. All right. So Asmo playing by the sandbags. We've got Sasuke playing highway. Trying to focus on mid control because, well, they have another player in vents as well. Mike Cox just can't stay out of vents. Absolutely loves a bit of it. But again, GGWP, I don't think have been particularly playing too much towards mid. They like the boost, of course, but they've been playing the sites pretty well. They've been just hitting these sites pretty much on point. So again, limited amounts to work with here in the forms of smokes and flashes. So again, it might be a bit of a tough one for Darkpassage to hold off.
Well, Brad's just left spawn there, so he was sitting right back in that one. Very passive angle for him. GGWP know now they're very close. Break the economy here, or break this gun round by Darkpassage, and they are pretty much home and hosed, Lauren. DP have nothing. Nothing after this round, really. They got most of them brought down to 50 or none. And Brads is over in the sunroom as well on his own with the AWP. So bear in mind as well, this is a double AWP setup for the T's. So it's kind of, you expect to see them play it out a little bit slower here. Try and get some picks. So far only trading, but that's still okay. Still have the AWPs. And now they have to get in Calix's face here as well. He's being sort of kept there as well, and Sasuke protects him really nicely. Okay. Nice stuff from Calix there as well. He and Sasuke hold that side down, and there is a glimmer of light at the end of Darkpassage, Lauren. It is there.
Huh.
And they are going to be reaching out for it at this stage, but Brads. See, it's not even like double Z, it's double A, so it's like Brads. It was like Brads. There's a big difference there. Yeah, there's a big difference there.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, I'm good. Just saying.
You're really into his thing. You're like, it's bad.
It's nice to say. It's like brought. Brought is a great word to say.
I'm not sure if it's a great word. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Mitch.
What?
Oh, Brad's almost with the lineup.
That's it.
Could have been perfect, but not quite the case. Again, Darkpassage could have just had. Oh, he's doing the lineup towards Highway as well. This guy is after my heart in this one. He's not going to get much done out of that though. Woxic just holding a basic angle. Gets the job done first and foremostly, so that's all you need at this case. It looks like another look towards A. So again, maybe that lovely combo we saw before between Sasuke and Calix will be put to the test. But Brad's finding Asmo is going to make that a little bit easier. Yeah.
Mycox is sitting in vents as well at this stage, and he hasn't broken the vent, which is just great because players, from what we've seen at least tonight, get a little bit lazy when they check vents and they see that that's actually still intact. They don't look deep into those vents. They just sort of look what's in their face because they have to, T-side players at least, then they have to check in towards generator and in towards headshot, right? They have the time to check all the way into the vents, or they often don't go to that extent here. So again, it's a slow play for GGWP. Just one AWP this time. A lot of WPs going on.
I'm about to say.
Let's see, Mycox, there we go. So Saturn vents, fine. He's either going to get a kill from someone being a little bit slack, pushing in towards checkers, or just peek out into mid and get one. So now the heat is on for GGWP. They've got to go towards this A site. We saw what Calix and Sasuke did last round. Let's see if they can replicate. So far, so good, Sasuke.
Yeah, Sasuke's been the main man here, and there's the shutdown in there from Calix. Spray towards Squeaky, and this game isn't over yet. We have got a long game on our hands here. Both sides going backward and forward. I thought I may be home in time to, I don't know, have some dinner. It's not the case, Mitch. It's not the case.
Just make some baked beans.
I don't have baked beans at home.
Do you have plastic fruit?
No, actually,
if so, get wrecked. Oh, well.
I don't know, I'll get some for you. All right, we've got the B hit coming in. This is going to be the B train. And I kind of like it. I do and I don't, right? It seems like those last-ditch attempts, it's like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Our default isn't working. Let's just rush B.
You're using the wrong accent for that, but I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's just going to be hard to do it. You can get to the side, but you should be locked up in the crossfire. And Mycox just can't do enough at this point. And now 2 players remain for GGWP. They've got a good step towards the side, but the bomb left on toward it means they have to cross themselves. The smokes are up, but only for a short time here. They need to get across soon. Those mollies are buying precious seconds, and now the bomb becomes available. 1 minute and 10 seconds. There you go. MKG gets it. Going to go for the plant now. 1 molly left towards Calix. That can't be put into play, though. And now Brads and MKG ready for what's coming their way.
Well, let's hope they are. I don't know. It's going to get pretty nasty in a second once Darkpassage decide to all push through. Now, they're all going together as well. That means Brads can be overwhelmed very quickly. MKG will need to peek rapidly to shut this one down, but they're all going one at a time here. There's a chance for MKG now. He's going to change up his angle. He gets the headshot on towards Woxic, and it's all gone wrong for Darkpassage now. It's a 1v1. Calix needs to defuse, and Brads knows how much time he has. He can hear it ticking away. Calix goes for the fake. Just a breath of air will kill the man. Calix is going for it now, but he's wasting time. He's coming forward. He gets on towards Brads here. Calix, he's got a kit. No time.
Oh my word. GGWP just about scrape another round towards their victory. 14-11 now. Oh, that's got to be painful. Calix, as said, he had to hit one shot, used the molly early. That's just unfortunate. He could have used it towards the anti kind of peak spot as well. You know, hindsight's 20/20.
This is what happens when 3 people peek smoke, but sort of move at a different rate because one person can see through the smoke, but the other 2 can't. And in that space of time, it's like, I don't know, 50 milliseconds, you need to tell your team, he's over there. When they can't see it, right? I feel like they should have put someone up in heaven there for that one, but that's the way it is. Pushing 3 down the same corridor just seems to be... I understand the concept, it just seems strange. Anyway, Woxic, he's going to peek in towards B holes there and get a kill on towards Refresh. So Darkpassage at least a chance here. They had enough money to buy something. It's a semblance of a buy. It'll do for now. They just have to make it do their bidding.
Let's see how well that goes. Asmo trying to get some control in mid. It's going to come down to a bit of a B hit here. So Woxic is the main man. They tried... I think it's actually baiting out the sound to allow Woxic to do this. Oh, he gets the snap, but he can't get it through the wall. Goes back in for more. MKG get absolutely wrecked in this one. Now Basso left in the 1v5. Surely not a hope in hell, and he's not got it. Mycox comes in for the close. And there's Basso gone, 14-12.
And GGWP's economy was shaky at best in that round because they obviously won from the bomb exploding. They didn't actually have any players left, no guns salvaged. So now they've got nothing. Look at this. It should honestly be a save, but they're going to force into it anyway. They don't want to let Darkpassage get any closer. I'm not sure how I feel about this one at all, Lauren. They spent a bit here, especially on some of those nades. You better hope it works out for him.
You've really got to hope so. And again, it's this B hit. GOCL already tested once before, came up with the goods and then some. Will he have the patience? Will he have the virtue to pull this off? The flash comes in. Oh, it's a smoke. Tell a lie. Okay. They're smoking off the entry so they can get close, bring those Tech 9s and such into perfect range, but they're just going to go straight through. This is incredible. This is just deadly play, but it's going to be GOCL greeting with a smile. Another smoke goes down. This should be a bomb plant.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to hope for. Spend some money, make an investment to at least give themselves a bomb plant. It should be the case here. KPZ is going to put it down, and with 4 players still with GGWP, there is a hope, although it may be slim, that they can actually hold on to this site. Utility almost entirely expended. Low health,
Refresh wants to make the play. He goes in, but he gets punished instantly. It's down to 3.
And we have to see what Basso can do from here as well. We saw what he was trying to do. A bit of 360 action is fine, where there were people on multiple angles to be watching. But KP has himself an AK as well. He tries to hold down the fort, but only gets himself 1. And then Sasuke comes in and replies. Calix gets 2, and Brad's finally falls here. The Force giving GGWP a bomb plant. And that may well be enough to see. They're really trying to stomp Darkpassage out. They're nipping at the heels. It's just not a lot of money still for GGWP. You save this and then buy up for a big 29th round.
Pretty much. Or we go to OT, Mitch.
Or we go to OT. Yep. Well, we did say we're happy to be here. We did say we were ready for some longer games, so this is fine.
Yeah, this is what we are in for. And already, Darkpassage pushing up in mid against one of these sort of rounds is quite curious. I want them to show refresh, to show presence on B, and then hit the A side. Because that's what they do on their kind of weaker rounds, on their eco rounds. And if GOCL gets a glimpse of one, he might call for backup, call for support. That's what you want to do. Sell a bit of a fake it, allow yourself a shot towards A. But already, they're starting to just kind of tender towards it very early here, looking to try and get a step out. But Sasuke, and I believe it has been Calix having that great crossfire, has been very hard to break, even on the buy rounds. Yeah,
no, those two have been really good. And it's, well, in Sasuke's case, it's showing on the scoreboard here as well. Asmo's the only one who's actually having trouble here as well, interestingly enough. The entirety of Darkpassage looking good, and GOCL as well, when he's had the AWP these last few rounds and kept it in his hands, he's been a force to be reckoned with now. And on the map, you can see a bit of a line of scrimmage being drawn here from top to bottom. It's GGWP not committed yet to a site. I don't know how many picks they expect to find. You saw Brad's was trying to find something there in mid with the boost, with the deagle, but it looks like Asmo just backed away from it.
Yeah, and now they're going towards the B site again. Playing kind of slower into it, which I quite like. But there's still the same issue. The fact you've got GOCL here and you've got Mycox here. And Mycox seems to be the object who cannot be moved, as can GOCL with that AWP. So there you go. Already Mycox shows dominance in mid. That's going to force the others to play through B. GOCL whiffs the first, though, but the backup's on the way. That being Asmo finally get himself on the board. And there's the cleanup. So we are going all even now. That's kind of what you expect. Now here comes the buy. This is the challenge.
And look, even if GGWP saved that round to guarantee, well, to at least assure a decent buy here, on round 30, Darkpassage will still buy again. They have the money. They built up their bank. Look at Calix. So this is now not a great situation at all for the Danish squad. So I have to see what they can do. Yeah, not ideal, to say the least now. GOCL looking in towards mid. There is a player bouncing. I'm not sure if he saw a gun barrel or not. He is tagged up. He knows someone's there. Yeah,
he's certainly got an idea of it. And we're seeing this very slow play. Look at this. All the way back, waiting for these peaks, seeing if there's a push. And you're hoping for a miracle at this point if you think someone's just going to push up at you like that. It'd be a very brazen play, a little bit too risque for what we've been seeing from Darkpassage, I feel. But Basso clearing out pretty effectively at this point. Just going to do the pop flash, check no one has pushed. And they are very cautious of aggression throughout this map. It seems like that's maybe something that they've kept in the back of their minds from prior rounds. Here comes the late boost. That's going to be Brad's up and over. A little look through, no one there. And again, it's reciprocated. Look at this. They're playing pretty passive here as well. No one's really going for active fights, apart from Mycox. Mycox seems to want to get in the action here. Vec. It was just perfectly trained on him. But at the end of the day, this could be just a kind of all-in sight here, it looks like. Looking at the mollies for the T side as well, Mitch. They've got 3 there. That could easily clean out A pretty well. But yeah, exactly. That's what they're going to use it for, is just be able to clear corners faster than they could peek them or push to them. So maybe 2 towards quad, or, you know, there's loads of ways you can utilize these. Again, though, Darkpassage is exactly the same.
It is slow play from GGWP as well. Playing him in with the AKs as well, so once the fight actually starts, they're going to be getting at least up in the face of the enemies. But GOCL just got a double with one shot. I mean, it's just Collapse City here right now. Refreshing gets one, and this is looking very, very bad. The Turks are looking good. It's just Brad's. Oh, God, I can't even do it anymore. He's going to go down as well, and Darkpassage, I'm going to take the round.
Are you good?
I'm not good. I'm very not good. It's not even, I'm just not good. I'm not even remotely close to being in a state of goodness here.
Get good. Very simple.
All
right.
Brad's. I'm so sorry as well. And I hope if when Brad goes back and watches this, he realizes I'm not trying to take the piss. It's just, I'm actually looking, if you guys are wondering, I'm casting from a screen that's across the room. It's like a big TV screen. So I can see most things, but sometimes making out the A's and the E's can be a little bit tricky.
Well, you know what, Mitch? Don't worry about it. Breads is already down. It's fine. It's going to be GOCL to do it, of all people. And now we are left with Darkpassage having the advantage. This could be them to close. And it'd be heartbreaking for GGWP because these guys have been fighting tooth and nail throughout this, let's bear in mind. But still, there's a little bit of life left in GGWP in the form. They have 4 players standing, 1 rifle, 2 SMGs, and a Tech 9. It's so far from ideal, but they have to do something with it. But Darkpassage is relatively well set at this point. They've got great deals of utility, and you know that UMP will not work at that range. Get your molly out, get it to the corner, and wait for it to burn him out of position. Here we go. The counter mollies come in, but there comes the fire. Here comes the spray, and there we go. He finds a bit of an angle to work, but the shutdown finally comes out, and we're down to 2, Mitch.
I can't believe this. Darkpassage are going to turn around. This is what GGWP did to them earlier on. It's all done, and the Turks have taken it 2-1. Darkpassage have qualified, of course, for our main event. It will be, of course, a 16-team single elimination tournament, and they've done it. I don't know how. We didn't see an overtime, so that's the thing. That's good, because I was just struggling.
You're getting nervous. You're getting nervous at that point. It's like it's a long game coming out there.
Man.
OT would have been pretty tough for both sides. The thing is, they had so many like long runs of them having the advantage. That's the crazy thing. It was like, for a 6-round, 9-round streak, it's like, okay, Darkpassage have this. Surely they're showing so much dominance, so much clarity in the way they're playing, and then suddenly you'd see this huge resurgence come out from GGWP. It's like, swings and roundabouts, but to the highest degree. So again, really interesting games. A little bit polarizing per map, it feels.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely. That was the crazy thing, right? Teams are winning, sometimes not even on their map picks, but it seems like their pool seems great when they play their map. And then they play like that third map of each series. And
it's just like, oh, who knows?
So, it goes to show, make sure you're good on your maps, but also good on all the others. Guys, thank you very much for joining us here as well. I think we're going to be back again this week still.
I hope so, Mitch, because this has been some top-tier work. Also, guys, before we go, do make sure you follow this idiot on Twitter, @UberShouts. He needs friends. He lacks them severely.
What, are you okay?
No. Help him get good.
Thank you. You helped me get good, guys. I appreciate that as well. So, I mean, you're good right now, I assume. I'm pretty well sorted. Thank you for joining us, guys. We'll be back again, I believe, this week, actually, for yet another night of qualifiers. 2 more best of 3s. Yep. We're sending 4 teams per week to the final in week 5 qualifiers here. So thanks for joining us here at the Go Champions League. We'll see you next time.